Hello everyone and welcome to Esports 164. It's kind of weird because like last week talking about like 5 stream, I was in the outro and now I'm in the intro, and I'm here with surprisingly no not money to tweet, that's on Twitter or X. I'm here with Grace. Hi Grace.
Hi Jordan. You know, I was so excited that I saw you commentating and I was like, well, I have to slide in.
Yeah.
Topic is alive, we hope.
Well, here's a funny story. You know, for Topic, like, you know, Pittsburgh yesterday, Topic and Rocket did together. There's a reason that might be why Topic's not here. And the funny story is staying up at 2 AM with the whole Under Pressure gang together. Shadows did them as well because I actually streamed the tournaments too. We stayed up to 2 AM talking about brain rot.
Oh wow, what kind of brain rot? You care to elaborate?
So, galvanized square steel. And 1 billion children versus 1 trillion lions or something like that. And we got into really logistical information between time and topic. So if that means anything, there's the info. But yeah, it really is really funny. But we should talk about the match though, Grace. shouldn't we?
You know, like, maybe a little bit, or we can just keep yapping. No, I'm kidding. These are both actual teams here, Jorian, which I'm a very big fan of right now. I mean, I definitely recognize both of these teams playing in SOS a lot. Wavelength on their sendout bio put that they got 4th in the Clams edition of All for One, which is run by the lovely folks over at the Shoals. So apparently they're really big fans of Clams. This isn't Clams though, so they could be crying, they could be slaying. I don't really know here, but they got a Dynamo.
Yeah.
And is that a tent? Was that a tent, Jorian? Was that a tent and Dynamo?
That is a 10 and Dynamo, but at the same time, that is again a 10 and decaf. Okay, so this is gonna be like a heavy kind of comp situation right now. But the Outcasts are actually gonna be in the blue, if I remember correctly. No, they're actually gonna be in yellow. And on the blue, we're gonna be seeing Wavelength. And we're gonna be seeing the intro side. We're gonna be seeing more of a stalemate comp on both sides because it is zones, and it's a 2-zone comp. So there's gonna be a situation about play aggression. But we see Outcast actually going 3 down already, but they're gonna be still in 1-1 capping them on the zone.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, the hammer's going to get canceled out a little bit there because of that cooler, which is really unfortunate. Kalos here is going to be at top mid already, which is a really, really oppressive position here for Decaf, for really anyone. They did drop down there, as I said, that Commentator's curse. But they are able to take out one member here of Outcast, not going to be able to get the trade, which is unfortunate. But the members of Outcast are going to lose the zone and get wiped out here, Jorian, which is going to keep Wavelength in control of the zone here. The Zuka's coming out. They're getting some more specials online here. And with 2 tents on either side, I think it's going to be an interesting match for sure.
Oh yeah, great. It's going to be an interesting match for sure because both of them have Zuka, and you've got to mention about that actually a wipeout on the side of Wavelength actually gave them an advantage to actually stay capitalized on zone, but that trade back to Outcast actually capitalized on zone much more. Just give them more advantage, but you need to remember as well, this map is going to be more of a snowball effect, so if you are able to hold the snowball for a long time, multi with Wavelength, if they have the bubble to come back in, that's going to be really helpful for them with the Tentabella as well. But for right now, it's going to be a 1v1 war, and the Viper is going to be going down with the shot as well, and that's going to be a comeback for Wavelength.
Indeed, indeed. And I mean, again, they're gunning up on here onto this top mid area. Wavelength is kind of copying here. Outcast, oh, they are going to get taken out. I keep Commentators cursing these folks. You're right, Jorian. It's not looking good for me here. Kalos here is going to get a really good trade, which is good to try to get this lead back in their favor here. But they're kind of having trouble painting the zone, or the Viper rather, painting for their life right now. And I mean, they are going to hamper. They are going to be able to cap the zone for right now. And the hammer going kind of through the back lines, trying to get a pick here. They do manage to get one. And they effectively back up the players of Wavelength and get them out of the fight.
Yeah, but at the same time too, the Viper actually survived the hit on the decaf because of the slight frame angle, so that's actually going to be a really good call for them. But the side Wavelength for sure, because the bubble's going to be coming up soon for them, and if they do get the bubble save, that's going to be helping them on the top, but with also the tragic bomb coming for them as well, that Tentable is going to be far down a little bit, but that's actually going to be the leader of Outcast, because they actually had the zone the whole time, and that double as well because of the Dynamo, and also because of the vertical on the Trizuka, it's going to be helping them even more. The snowball effect is going to be hurting even more for Outcast right now, as they're going to be getting the win.
Indeed, indeed. And I mean, 25 remaining, less than here, Jorian. They're going to be taking out these strikes. They're going to double there with that Zuka, which is huge, but they're going to get wiped out in return here. Vertigo here is like, I'm just going to paint the zone and look pretty, sit here top mid like I have been, getting these jumps in for my teammates who just got taken out by that Zuka. But the Zuka, again, is going to come out here, and they're going to get another 2 down here. Wavelength, though, is going to be the ones going 2 down, and they're going to get wiped out here, Jorian. So many wipes coming out in this game, and I have to wonder, is the tent the play? Apparently it is, because they both ran it. I mean, I'm surprised. I feel like I never see tent nowadays.
Tent is a really rare and niche kind of weapon, but if you know the weapon, that surely shows how much you can play with it. And we saw mostly on the side of Vertigo, they are playing the support backline of it, and that just helped paint the zone easily, and with them, they get the first point. But now we're going to be going on to Clan Blitz, and that's, you said, Wavelength's best mode?
Well, I mean, I don't know. They won. They put it in their results. They're very proud of it. They also put in their results that they're LSL and from the Yank Up band. So I'm very, very proud of them. I applaud them for that. Also, their bio says kind of blew up. Clearly, you didn't blow up because you're playing right now. So I don't know what that means. But yes, they did get 4th in that Clans edition of All for One. So I mean, they probably are fans, but Clans Brine Water is very, very interesting. And you already know, we're testing out some fun maps here in SOS, which I'm a fan of. I like seeing some spicy maps. Sometimes I do get tired of playing Mako all day, every day, and then also TC Inkblot. So I'm happy to see it, but I wonder if they're going to pick out any more interesting picks here to kind of go with it. What do you think?
Where's TC Surgeon? Honestly, where's the Waymaker Surgeon? Those are the things. Those picks I've been waiting on so long, waiting on the S2 days, because like for so many people too, like everyone's saying that they don't like the map in general, but at the same time, like that's kind of like a legacy map before we had something like Brine Water or something like, let's say, Barnacle 9. It was more of the map that has elevation to go low, but now it basically that one has ramp to go high. So, and I'm honestly just a sturgeon, man. I miss Waymaker on that one of those. On tower in general, actually. That one was really, really fun. But Clampus Brine Water Springs is one of those funny picks. The battle rate on this, like you can get a kill every 5 seconds basically, because the map is super small. And it is going to be another snowbally kind of map if you go to that direction. And on the side of Outcast, we saw them get like 5 wipeouts in that single match. So it might be happening again if Wavelength can't really do anything about it. But that's the main thing. They have to play defense.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd be interested to see if anybody is capable of whipping out like an E-leader or something. I feel like the thing I hear constantly about Brine Water specifically, probably Clamps too, is that, I mean, if there's a backline, they kind of just, they eat you alive a little bit. The more range, the better too, I feel like. So I'd be interested to see. I think judging by both of the weapon comps that we had last time, though, maybe not. I mean, but listen, if there's tents in play, anything's possible. And it'd be interesting if they bust out the tents once again, or if it was just a Zone Zumami thing and I'm just behind on the curve and everyone's yelling at me, calling me an idiot in the chat, which is possible, but I don't know.
Maybe the 10 back might be the good play for this round, because for the 10 with the Zuka, it might be just more aggro pushing, but with the 10 back, you'll be actually supporting, and we actually do see the both back.
There's no way.
Both Zuka, there's no change. There's literally no change.
Way. There's no changes. I don't know how we got so lucky as to see 2 10th gamers here in the same match facing each other here, Jorian. But I mean, openings here pretty standard. We already see a flight coming out here from the Wiper on the side of Outcast. 2 are going to go down there on the side of Wavelength, and it's going to be all about getting these clams. I mean, the Zap here is going to get taken out. I was going to say that they had a power clam here, Jorian, but it looks like Outcast is gearing up for a push. They have 6 clams here with this tent, but they have to build a power clam to make that push.
Yeah, but this is the main thing. Remember about the question from the last game, Grace? We saw that first push going away, and oh my god, vertical missed it.
Oh, no.
The vertical miss actually gave them a little bit more time, because the clams respawn I think be coming back, and we see Outcast getting the first push, and more clams coming in from the shot as well from Brock, and even more clams actually coming in from Viper once they finish going on the killing tree. And now the clams going to be respawning, as you see on the top, and that's going to be giving more time for Outcast to actually even go for them to give them a KO.
Golly goodness here, and the hammer's coming out. They're going to be able to get a huge pick here. They are going to get taken out. Very nicely done by Wavelength, and the Zuga coming out trying to stagger their push a little bit further, and they do end up getting 3 down total here, Dorian. And I mean, this is their chance to get back into mid. They swamped out this push. I mean, that was a really tremendous push though from Outcast. They were played really coordinated, and they made sure to cycle through players to be able to, they always had clams coming into the basket, but they kept up the pressure too. So I'd be interested to see how Wavelength kind of responds to that and tries to do that too. Well, they are going to go 2 down, but anyways,
yeah, well, a little bit of a response to coming like a little bit later, but coming in right now. But you do have the PT clam on the back, but they do have separate clams on the cap. But Encore again on the Viper, just showing off their skills and actually making the team from Wavelength actually scare it and go back. But also with the Tri-Shot coming out, and the Tri-Zuka actually killing the other Tentacle is gonna be huge for them. With actually more shot coming in the back for them, and but actually another Tri-Zuka is still coming alive on the side of Outcast. They're first gonna be going in mandatory, because actually we didn't even say it at all. Outcast has double Zuka, and that is really strong if you want to play aggression. And that Zuka to face is going to help them even more. But Vertigo has a power clam, but if they want to help them more, just throw the ball back, or just jump back and just give a ball to another player and get more clams in. And that's going to be a solid KO victory.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it before, the flanks here coming out from Oko. I mean, we see them on that Wiper. You know what Wiper does best here. I mean, a few of their teammates are going to go down in the process right now. I mean, but the hammer again is going to come out, has been really formidable here, and they are going to really stick with it, which is really, really huge, because again, Outcast just has to keep them in mid or pass them into their spawn. They don't really have to play super aggressively here, despite, you know, the weapon comps we've been saying, you know, that double Zuka. But even so, Wavelength is going to be able to get in here with this basket, and they're going to get 2 power clams in here, Jory, and they do have that pity there back at their spawn if they want to try to go for a jump in, but it looks like the members of Outcast are pretty quickly. Wait, they are going in for the jump. Oh, hello. Okay, no, never mind. They stood there for a second. They hesitated.
Yeah, they really hesitated. They really did. Wavelength was actually trying to figure out if they cannot try to go for a jump for last lane. That's why the player that had the ball were trying to jump in, but at the same time, they noticed that all the players that they were trying to jump in is waiting for. And if they try to jump in, that's basically going to be a die tactic altogether, and that's what's going to be down the punch. But now the play is super defensive. But again, Oko with the hammer, turning off the ball holder, and getting so much more effective for Outcast if they want to get for the ball. Cole is going to be on the decal trying the best to do anything, but that's going to be down for them. Auto being the last one intended by being alive. That Zuko's going to be cutting them the shield, and they will have so many chances to go open and now go in with so many clamps if they want to push in. But the bomb is going to say something, and wait, they just parried that.
Oh, I was about to say that they were going to get that other power clamp into there, but they didn't, unfortunately. I mean, they're carrying out their trend once again of missing that little power clamp. But again, I'm not a hater. I've done that many a times, and I am not one to judge here. But it looks like Wavelength, now that we know, is very, very capable of making a push here. And can they make another one here before overtime hits, or maybe during overtime, Dorian, is going to be the question here. I think it's going to be about special. Oh, and they were just 1-2 down. That is so unfortunate for them. But again, if they can just come back from that once again, which we've seen them do, I think it could be pretty cool and pretty spicy.
It would be pretty cool if they do get a comeback. They do have the ball at the back as well. That decap is going to be putting a bubble in the one front scenario against the shot player, Brock. But actually, Brock's going to be going down, but Vertical is going to be in the middle of the triangle, and that's going to be the soul going down as well. Again, Okar, that's going to be the person who usually goes for the push. It's going to be going down. That's still lead for Outcast, so it's going to be main thing 23-57. If Outcast wants to stall, they can just do that, and with that Zuko double on the side 2 Wavelength, that's going to be really a good stall, and that's going to be mostly a GG.
Yeah, and I mean, with all the special power and the aggression that they already have here, and they're already pushed back under their basket, they don't have control of mid right now on the side of Wavelength, so Outcast has a really, really good upper hand here to maintain their lead. Overtime is ticking down, and it's almost half the way done, but wait, only one member left here on the side of Outcast, but now there's only one member left on the side of Wavelength, and there's just not enough time for them to get to the basket in time, and that's just going to be game there. And since it is indeed best of, that's just the set there.
But remember when you said earlier about you were being shocked about the Dynamo and Thunderbella combo?
Yeah.
The Dynamo actually saved the game at the end for Wavelength, for Outcast actually to win the game, because the Dynamo actually got a triple. Nate saved the whole game by getting that solid triple, and it basically just making that last play on Wavelength fall back a little bit, and literally because of that, we see Outcast getting that 2-0.
Listen, I'm a Dynamo fan. I think, you know, if you throw some bombs under their feet, that kind of stinks a little bit. But if you don't have any bombs under your feet, Dynamo is pretty sick, pretty cool. I know the hitbox is a little messed up though to the Dynamo friends here. And one Skepidillions did say that they would quit comp if Dynamo became meta or like got fixed. I forgot what they said. So there are anti-Dynamos out there, people who dislike Dynamo a lot, but maybe it is because of really great Dynamo players there that we saw like in this set that people are just fearful.
Yeah, and not to say that too, remember that Dynamos are just a niche weapon as well. Like, there's so many small people that actually play the weapon to go advanced. Like, if you're a roller specialist, you can mostly likely try to play Dynamo and try to put it in the bag, but the main thing is the weapon is slow. Comparing to the regular roller that people usually play, it's like the V roller, not because the bubble buff, and the carbon roller if they want to play for the Zuko or play like that double combo if anyone actually exists on that, but that is still a niche as well. But for the Dynamo, say like you see strong people like what we saw and said, like you said, it's going to be really good, but at the same time, this was a flounder, and if you know about Dapper Productions, a flounder heights on zones, how many people put Dynamo on that? It's mostly 100%. So if you don't see a Dynamo on Flounder Heights, that's just a GG's right there. There's an issue right there.
Listen, I don't have enough experience on Flounder. I mean, I dabble and try. I partake and try, if you will. Sometimes. Sometimes. I try, you know. And that's all I know for Flounder. Because it's like, yeah, when they come up the wall, you can get them. And it's like, okay, listen, whenever there's a map mode and I can't play Junior, it does make me sad, and it does break my heart. It does devastate me.
Yeah. play with both junior players, but also at the same
Oh my
time,
God.
there's still C Junior as well. Like C Junior is actually pretty cool in that as well.
I don't like C Junior. I like bomb spamming specifically with splat bombs. I'm not really into any other bombs. I think Fizzy's okay, but I'm kind of a hater.
You kind of hate a torpedo?
I don't know why. I just like I'm not pro Chara. Okay, I can't roll them. I think I think they're cool and like they're useful or something. But I don't know. They're just I don't really jive with them. They're not my vibe, if you will.
Well, like as someone who actually played C Junior to get 5 stars on that and with the same junior as well, like the C Junior, like the junior regular junior is mostly a support weapon that you want to play back. But if you play C Junior, that's the more aggro weapon. So if you want to play like more fun, like way more aggro and just go out there, that's where the C Junior method is. But for junior, like you said with rolling bombs, we just have fun. If we just double bomb and just roll and just do trick shots with bombs, and that's really fun if you get a double as well.
Listen. It does sound fun, but it's just not my forte. I'm just keeping it real. Keeping it real for the friends and family at home. You already know. But, Jorian, I think it should be time for us to take a little bit of a break. Perhaps drink some water, go to the bathroom, other activities, maybe a snack. Oh,
maybe.
Honestly,
maybe watch some TikTok.
Oh, maybe.
Snack would be.
Watch some TikToks. Yeah, you already know. But our round 2 match is not quite ready for us yet. It is going to be a very fun, interesting one here. Going to be UCSD Esports Gold, a collegiate team versus Hydra, a very much veteran team who plays a lot of SOSs here. So, going to be happy to see them when we come back. But for now, don't go anywhere, or do if you wanna. But you should come back after though.
Yeah, totally. Like, come back later. Like, maybe like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so welcome back to SOS 164. We kind of didn't know who was going to intro, so that's why the second time is going to be really funny. But at the same time, we just are glad to be looking at these two matches because what we saw report from Grace was this is going to be a CCA matchup versus an OG team.
I know. I am so very happy. I'm always happy to see Hydra show out for SOS. I literally feel like they've played since the beginning, like since like the double digits, I feel like. I don't know. I'd have to go check, but I remember these gamers for sure. And also UCSD Esports Gold. These are some gamers here, Jorian. So you already know. Like these gamers won Div 1 of CCI. I don't remember which season exactly, but like again, some gamers. And if y'all don't know how CCA divs translate, they don't translate 1-to-1. So they're not like Lulu Div 1, but you know, it translates pretty well. Not pretty well.
Not pretty well, like
they're a great team.
they're a good team, but if you want to say like in correlation of like how many seasons of CTA has happened so far, like 6, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I think they won season 4 with DOF involved. So no, I think it was actually season 2 with DOF involved, because this was before the time that Vapor and Kraken was actually in the war as well. So with this new generation of UCSD Esports Gold, they are actually around like Div 5 level. Div 5 level. That's multi-level. And for Hydra though, Hydra is kind of my goats because Nessa, mostly Nessa, I think Bao as well.
Whoa.
Colin. The reason why
you hate the rest of them.
Oh no. The reason why? Because I don't know the rest of them. Hydra, that's like you said, the Hydra was back in the double digits. Actually, Hydra, I was actually fighting Hydra back then as well in Ludi season, I think that was like season 8 or something, when we were like in Div 6 together. And we were like multiple fights, like we had a good war back then during the time on Ludi when I was playing. But now in this generation, unfortunately, people always got it better. So Hydra is stuck in the Div 4 level. That's still good for them, but still they have some tough competition coming ahead, because I think they were like still in the top 16 or they got knocked out in groups again. So but Hydra still being really consistent after like these 4 years of playing or 3 years of playing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they fare, though, on this specific map mode here, going into Splat Zones. My golly goodness. Not only Splat Zones, but it's Barnacle and Dime here, Dorian. What are these comps we're looking at?
These comps are going to be rather interesting because we're going to be seeing a CRB. We're going to be seeing a regular RB with the bubbler instead, and we're seeing a red pencil from Hydra. Not Nessa playing a Dynamo, or not playing the Hydra. What is this madness coming on so far? But as we're seeing right now, that's going to be 2 down inside the Hydra, but we're going to be seeing 1 down on UCSD Esports Gold.
My golly goodness, I'm still gobsmacked about that pencil pick there, the red pencil and not the accursed blue one. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do like it though, so I'm interested to see how it kind of plays out there, because I definitely do not see it a lot here, Jorian. But the pencils here are trying to face off here, trying to pick one another off. Both of their one front line from each is going to go down here. Pencil is going to have to back up quite a bit here though. They're getting Zuka'd like all heck, and somebody sharking below them. Pencils here are getting bullied, as you usually see here. That back line is going to have a lot of pressure put onto them here, and that's usually the key of breaking open a team's defenses there. So UCSD Esports Gold in a really good lead right now. They're pressuring this pencil, and they do get the pick on them here, Jorian. So again, looking good for them right now. Yeah, looking good for them right now, but also getting the double, and now that's going to be a support as well on the side of UCSD Esports Gold going in for a triple. And that's, look at this snowball, because this is another map as well that's going to be so big. If you're not able to get out, that's going to be unfortunate for the other team. I'm just saying for now, Nerdy Adam all the way on top, getting the double, and that's basically going to be the vibe for the team of UCSD Esports Gold. Maybe going in for a triple, maybe for a quad, maybe even for a 5er. That's going to be a quad right now, and with the 5th one going to be on Nessa, that's going to be immediately a GG. Okay, that's 6. Wow. Oh my golly goodness. That was actually insane. No, But again, I think it really has to do with the fact that they really cracked open the defense of Hydra there. I mean, they really knew how to gun for that pencil, and even if they didn't pick them off necessarily, because the pencil was thrown off their game because they weren't able to support their teammates, their front lines kept going down. They kept not having the support that they needed to push up and get the kills themselves. So then it ends up with the pencil being completely defenseless because they have nobody to defend them. So again, very nicely played, very clean from UCSD Gold.
Yeah, like you said, basically in the review is that USD Esports Gold basically just played so much aggression that they didn't have Hydra to take a single breath. After that first wipeout, just basically had them get stuck in a loop of needing to get Nerdy Adam out of the loop and getting out of position because of that, in the end, we saw UTS Esports Gold just keep holding onto the top position.
No, really. Like, again, I'm just so impressed. And I mean, Barnacle and Dime is very interesting. I feel like I should have talked about this before the game there, but it is really backline dependent. And again, I'm really impressed, and I'm really shocked at how amazingly UCSD Gold did here, that I need to leave.
Yeah,
I need to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's something that's happened, and that something, the thing is you didn't see on the bottom left because that didn't get updated yet, but we just have a third commentator, aka Topic, coming back alive.
Hello, I'm alive.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Bye. Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. So, Topic, welcome back to Galvanized Squares tier with wood veneer.
Oh my god, not what I expected to hear, but okay.
With the 1 billion children and the 1,000 lions. Yep. Okay, so anyways, what you missed so far was round 1, that was a 2-0, and now round 2, we're going to be 1-0 to USD Esports Cup for the Hydra, CTA versus OG Splatoon team from 4 years ago, who's still winning because of one player, or mostly 2 players. Nessa to be example for it, and now we're going to be running into Wavelength Mincemeat Medal Awards. Why?
Good question. Do I have an answer for you? No. But I know that Rainmaker Mincemeat has been popping up, or has been gaining a little bit of traction ever since the rework, right? But at the same time, it's Mincemeat. It's not. I won't say it's. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It's definitely one of the worst modes, or one of the worst maps for comp, just in general.
Oh, and the funny thing is, I think we saw this last week.
Oh.
I don't know why. I think we saw this last week, and it's kind of really funny that we're seeing it again.
I mean, it is kind of funny, but yeah, I do. Overall, I think Mincemeat is interesting. You do kind of have the Rainmaker Classic of 2 kind of varied routes. You do have the left side over the grates. You got the right side which is usually the route that most teams take, mainly because it is longer it's farther away from the enemy spawn. You know, they have to travel some distance, so you're gonna have to allocate a lot of resources just to get a push started or stopped. But so far, we are gonna hop into game number 2. Let's see what have UCSD Esports in the blue, Hydra in the yellow. Very similar comps, all things considered. They both have, actually no, never mind. There's a double Zuka on the side of Hydra and an E-leader with the Kraken E-leader. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, so the one thing about Hydra is, again, they're kind of stuck in the past, so that's why we're going to be seeing Hydra going in with the old comp. They still having the zap for the the cooler, but they haven't done like the old ballpoint and double Zuga comp like we saw in like version 3.0. But for Hydra, but for the UCSD Esports Gold, again, they're going in with the version that they know about and the CCA version win, and that's going to be with the Elite, with the Kraken. They're going to go in with the cooler, they're going in Sasha, and they're going in with the Blaster. Again, it's going to be a little bit slow, but more actual attackers kind of comp.
I mean, you say slower, but what I'm seeing right now, Esports Gold is just going in already, breaking the first checkpoint in the first minute, but a double kill from Hydra's Zuka's gonna shut that down. And so far, Esports Gold looking hot right now.
Yeah, they're looking hot, but at the same time, remember, they need to sneak up a little bit because their weapons, they can get countered by the shot really easily, or even by the bombing really easily, because they have mostly a semi-auto kind of weapon. But for anyone in Esports Gold, other than the Zap, who actually picked up Waymaker, it's basically going to be a one-shot, one-kill, or delay of basically 2 seconds. Other than the Slaughter, that has like a 0.7 second actually shot radius, but at the same time, too, we see Bao here on the shot, actually going in for solo single seek, and that actually worked out really well, but still, Esports Gold having the back right now on the Waymaker is going to go up ahead. Maybe to the ramp, but they're going to be a little bit slow. They're going to be a little bit safe, a little bit cautious. Again, they saw the kill. That's a really good advantage for them. And if they get the kill on Nest on top right, that's going to be really huge with the bubble as well coming in.
Yeah, the bubble's gonna provide some defense. Hydra is gonna be able to pop the cooler to try to do something, but it's a bit far out. As you can see, none of the cooler's gonna get grabbed, but the Zuka able to at least stall the Rainmaker, but going down in the wipeout for Hydra. So now Esports Gold has an opportunity to get even more points and just keep the flood from continuing.
That flood continuing is going to be worse because Hydra's going to be coming back in, and that's going to be a whole web by UCSD Esports Gold, and with the Waymaker reset as well. Again, the map is going to be really, really controversial, but really, really interesting on both sides because, again, the ballpoint versus the E-leader, it's going to be basically the war of feeding doors to help you push coming in, other than the Zukas, because we saw Bao just end the other shot on the side of Hydra, just getting in with double Zuka, while we see Lu here trying to go in for the shot, but again, he's being stopped at 85.
I mean, that's a really good defense from UCSD, but unfortunately, Hydra's gonna keep on going, try to force their way in. 2 going to go down, and not a whole lot gonna come out of that push. But so far, no, for Hydra, I'm sorry, but UCSD Esports is going to shut that down super quickly, and so far, they're looking to continue, at least to try to extend their lead.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to extend the lead a little bit, but we see on the left, actually, that tries to put Kosame as actually be getting a solo kill, but we see them more jammed up on the left side as well. Kosame is just going to be trying far down the left side to make them split up. Same time with Goldshot, but trying to split them up as well, but that's going to be, actually, the shot on the Hydra going to kill them off, but actually still going to be killing other people off. Maybe no, they had them, but wait, that's going to be a trade-off, and Goldshot being alive because of the block.
I mean, there we go. That's going to be a wipeout on the side of Hydra. And so far, UCSD is going to be able to push even further down to 44. They're going to be stopped super, super quickly. And I think that's kind of what happens on Mincemeat in general, is that if you elect to go on this right side, you can kind of get stalled out because you're stuck in this corner. You can try to force your way up. Adam here is gonna get even further down to 26, and with a minute left to go, that might be a game-winning push with how hard it is to push on this map.
Yeah, but with the Hydra having the Waymaker play last alive, that's going to be Lu again, but Goldshot just still waiting for them, trying to go for a trick shot hit. No, that's actually not going to happen because they're going to be staying alive. But the Blaster on the side of UCSD Ocean is going to be actually killing them off with 40 seconds remaining, and 2 players alive by Hydra, the ballpoint Nessa, and the shot of kill. I'm going to call it Kilo. That's going to be mostly playing them play super defense, but with 30 seconds, they need to win.
Yeah, they got to run forward. They have to go head first. But here's the problem with going head first. You gotta worry about the E-leader that can just snipe you out if you play a little bit too recklessly. And so far, Hydra is just kind of stuck here. Their main way to get out is Nessa's inkjet to try to break through that E-leader. They're gonna pop the Rainmaker. Adam's just gonna pick it up and run away under Nessa's nose. And UCSD Esports Gold will take the game, take the set 2-0.
The funny thing is, I think if it was pre-patch in the old version, that Waymaker actually would have got a solid triple right there, because I think that block in the middle underneath the Waymaker didn't exist, and if that actually did hit, that would have been a triple for Hydra to come back in. But again, UCSD Esports Gold showing once again the aggressiveness going all the way, even though with the unorthodox weapons, and the version old comp is actually, it's showing how much powerful they are if you know your weapons once again. And just what we need to shout out Opal, and we need to shout out the Slasher player as well, and UCSD Kosame, because on that game they pushed Hydra to the limit and just made them scared even farther back.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the presence of having this E-leader, and what we saw from UCSD's comp in general is that if they imposed their will early, right? They were the first to strike. They were the first to get a lot of points going, and then it fell on Hydra's shoulders to respond. And at the very end, they had about 30 or a minute left, maybe 45 seconds left. They had to basically recklessly go in and try to go past the E-leader. Unfortunately for them, it just didn't work out in their favor.
Didn't work out in favor, unfortunately, but now we're going to be mostly going to go to pick once again, because that's going to be all round, and we're going to be moving on to round 3 soon enough.
Yep.
So, we'll be back.
See you in a bit. All right, everyone. Welcome back. Round 3 starting much sooner than we expected. As we're gonna be back, we have Freelancer versus dattebayo Warriors. I am Topic. I am joined by Jorian. And Jorian, how you doing?
Lord John want to upgrade to 0.2 feet of house into Watchman's bedroom, so they took up the. I can't imagine. Okay. Okay. If no one gets the reference, good. So anyways, we're gonna be back here with round 3. Splatoon's high expansion market. And we're gonna be seeing Freelancer and dattebayo Warriors, like you said, Topic. Freelancer has recognizable names because they're gonna be from Texas scene. H-Town, Splash, if you know about that, that's gonna be recognized player from there. I think Softwoods is not recognized player from there, Canon either, because they're just friends. But General Storm and Parachu, I know they're actually from the Texas scene, and I actually played with Parachu before as well. Very strong pencil player. I don't know if they're going to be playing this round though. Or they're going to be playing Rapid Blast and Deco for the fun seed. And dattebayo Warriors, they are a pickup. Most likely, Cyan Ulsa, they usually play together. Flowers and Mast, I think that it's going to be what the new additions to this pickup, but they actually played in Whiptide together as well. So if you want those information, that's your information.
Thank you for a little history lesson on both of these teams. But let's see where these teams will be squaring off at, as we're going to go to Zone's Hagglefish, which I would describe as the most vanilla ice cream, the most salt and pepper map mode in the game, because in my opinion, it's kind of bland. It's kind of just there.
It's basic.
Yeah,
it's really basic. Like if you want to say something about basic, this is basically the definition of that. So if you want to know something about this, like this is your starter off map. This is basically the map gamma that should have been the previous Splatoon 3, but that was actually going to I forgot the map for some reason. But yeah, that map is what's going to be the actual preview, but now we're going to go to the basic map that actually makes more sense. It's the Splatoon kind of version. It's going to be going in with a dually, a pencil, a Zimmy, a Viper, a pencil, another Viper, the Googler dualies, and a Slosher.
Very interesting. Glooga dualies, you know, I'm a fan of Gloogas. They are very aggressive, but they're very underutilized because they are they're kind of slow to kill, but they can be very, very deadly in the right hands. And plus, for zones especially, they do have the wall and the Booyah Bomb to kind of protect themselves. And so far, just a lot of fighting in mid. dattebayo is gonna try to take for zone, but they're not gonna get it as Freelancers are just gonna fight over zone. The strikes are gonna come out, the crabs are gonna come out. They're holding on with this with tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail for sure, but also at the same time, the thing that counters a Booyah Bomb is going to be a bubble, and we are not going to be recognizing that hammer because Kanon is really strong that anyways, as they usually do, and I'm going to be saying Kanon also going for a triple against Face Off. Truly David's going to be truly what it is, and Face Off actually loses the fight to Kanon, truly showing who's the sword master here. As they're going to be finally capitalizing on the zone after 5 seconds to 15 seconds of delay. That's going to be basically, if they got the zone before, that would have been 50 points, but now we're going to be winning even more.
Yeah, but right now, dattebayo Warriors are going to be forced back, and this is what I think the mini is really good at. It's really, you can see they do have a bubble in a very, very aggressive spot just to slow them down. Unfortunately, it's not going to work for long, as dattebayo is going to be able to capture zone, but not for long, because guess what, Freelancer, they have a pencil in a safe spot. They have the dualies that can paint relatively well. They have the wiper, the hammer, unfortunately not able to break through the crab entirely and get the pick, but so far just a lot of fighting in zone, and so far Freelancer is the one winning those team fights, is the one winning those little skirmishes here and there. They're the ones, another hammer is just getting tossed around. It's just a lot of fighting is going in Freelancer's favor.
A lot of fighting, a lot of hammer was coming out back to back as well. Like I just said, with the hammer going to Sophus's crab, that actually got 80% damage unfortunately, so that wasn't a full hit back because it was a little bit off angle, but that's a good thing because we see for the side of Sophus himself, they've been just hopping around back, well, not getting killed off in general because that's going to be the second crab coming up soon, and then pinning off, not getting killed by the hammer either. That's going to be huge for them, but that double is going to be going down, and that's what could be dattebayo's Warriors going up ahead, going from 95 points by the way. They didn't cap the zone all the way to the beginning of the match for 5 seconds, but now it's still a chance to come back because look at the paint control they had. They're going up into Freelancer's base now and trying to get what they deserve, and that's the win.
I mean, but so far it might be backfiring as they're gonna go 2 down. Kanon in another hammer fight. Face Off is forced to back away and not be in the right spot to kind of contest the zone, and almost as like a flip of a switch, Freelancer's gonna take zone really, really easily. But unfortunately for them, dattebayo Warrior does have Cooler at the ready. They're gonna Saisabi is gonna pop the Booyah Bomb to take some space. The strikes are gonna go out, and dattebayo Warriors just like that just takes control of zone right from Freelancer's hands.
Yeah, but we see also on the side here with the rest of the team, Face Off can kill off a Kanon once again. Again, the Swordmaster going off one by one, but also we're gonna be trying to battle Swordmaster, and Kanon actually wins with the hammer instead. And now for 55 seconds remaining, but 55 seconds remaining on the point score, and actually it's like Kanon getting another kill on Shamu, and gonna trade off Kanon actually. That's gonna be a good lead for Freelancer to kill off on the zone. Again, the basic map mode combo, the basic map design is just making it that you have to throw yourself to the wall, throw yourself to the zone to do anything, to get any points on splat zones.
I mean, yeah, because the map is mostly flat. There's not a whole lot of elevation changes, so you're kind of forced into all these fights to go for zone. And so far, at least recently of these last few fights, dattebayo Warriors has been winning, but call it the commentator's curse, because Freelancer takes a 2-man advantage and just takes control of zone super easily. Kanon wins another fight there. It's just a lot of, like, we've been talking about this entire game, just a lot of fighting. Another sword duo, the hammer duo. Kanon just stamps out Face Off there, throws the hammer, not gonna get a pick, but a lot of pressure when you put on the pencil. And so far, Freelancer is trying to hold on to zone, but dattebayo Warriors is not giving up.
Yeah, not giving up at all, but Freelancer Soulflix on the left side trying their best to do anything to paint with the rest of the team, while Kanon, while Parachu, while the Simi player as well. Freelancer is doing the best to do anything to survive, and with that 2 down inside dattebayo Warriors, that's like the victory right there for Freelancer.
Yep, very clean not clean, very
Solid.
Yeah, solid victory. A lot of fighting, but for the most part, Freelancer had control of zone, or had control of the map. They were really, for the most part, winning those fights. Yes, there was a time in the middle where dattebayo Warriors did get a lot of points. I think they got down to 60 or 55, but Freelancer just kind of came back. They stormed back with everything they got, took control of zone, and never looked back.
Never looked back indeed, as we're going to be seeing them get the first point. And basically, the more information about never look back, Kanon, they got like a 20 KA. They got 20 kills. That's most likely what happened for them, because they kept on going in against the white player, trading off and getting solid hammer throws every single time. But at the same time, for the side of throwdown, face off, they got solid hammer throws as well, getting some solid kills. But again, just Kanon being the more aggressive player, and also I think a win, like a top 3 as well in H-Town. This truly does show why the more aggro team is going to go into the victory, while we're going to be seeing for game 2, Climbers of Museum. It's going to be a little bit more slower this time, but Freelancer might have this more better because of Kanon, because of Solas playing in together. It's also with Patriot as well with the Zimmy.
Yeah, and I think on this map mode specifically, I think the Zimmy, like you said, the Zimmy can work really well. Sovless and Kanon really just throwing themselves at the wall and hoping something sticks. It will work in their favor, because this map, for most pushes, comes down to who controls the ramp up to plat, because that becomes kind of a choke point area, and being able to just have a member there just force their way in and breach through and get onto plat, because once you get onto plat, the scoring can just continue at a moment's notice. And for the side of dattebayo Warriors, the only real change is a change over to the V machine. So a double booyah bomb comp, they're gonna booyah bomb whenever they feel like, with 2 of them.
They need to alternate the Booyah to actually get anything in the back, because we see a million in the first 15 seconds of the game, but more, let's say 5 seconds of the game. Kanon just going in straight for the pencil player and actually kill him off. Now we're seeing Solas going down again by Osa, going in for a double, actually possibly on Patriot, but Patriot going to be killing him off. That's going to be killing off by Cyan. But really, because of that too, we're going to be seeing now dattebayo being able to push up, but they don't have a ball. They need a ball to push in on anything. That ball they had before for Freelancer that they had made before, it's going to be killed off, but now it's dattebayo to push in, if they were able to at least.
Yeah, but from some solid defense from Freelancer, they're not going to let that happen. A 1-for-1 trade there, as another one's going to go down on dattebayo Warriors. 3 down for dattebayo, 4 a delayed wipe basically. So now Freelancer, they have the space to work with. They have enough clams to get a ball. Now it just becomes, when they score, can they keep it up? As Parachu's going to go in, going to get the score, but they have some follow-up. They're going to have Pastry here is going to get a couple more clams, down to 62, basically unfettered, just free scoring. Sovless with the crab, looking to create some more space. It's gonna work with a couple more clams in reserve, though they're gonna be found out before getting it down, and just like that, Freelancer gets a pretty solid push going.
Yeah, pretty solid what?
Pretty solid push there.
Okay, good. If you were going to say pretty solid defense, that's what dattebayo Warriors trying to do, but unfortunately, because of Freelancer actually going in every single time, battling off against face up, battling against also killing them off every single time, and also the pencil play going down. We see again Freelancer trying to go into the zone, going into the base of dattebayo Warriors and going for another clam. But again, remember, with clam, but you have a 15-second leeway time every time clam is going to get killed off. We're seeing face up trying to go for anything with the torpedo as well, but that's going to be nothing going to the favor with Sayab. Is trying to do another thing with the booyah, but because of Pagey was there, that's going to be them getting killed off. We see a ball from Freelancer again. They're going to be going in with that wipeout as well. Most going to be scoring in more than 59 points.
I mean, yeah, they have 2 more at the ready. That's a free 40 points for them, getting it down to 39. But Sawless here does have a couple more in reserve. Freelancer also has a hammer at the ready, so they could potentially keep this going. Pastry's gonna get shut down, and dattebayo Warriors are gonna stop the bleeding for now with a quick 3 down. Now the question becomes, can you translate this into a solid attack? Because so far, other than the first minute of the game, they've been kind of stuck in mid. They really haven't been able to get the resources, get the specials, get the clams needed for the push of their own.
All they have right now is 1 Booyah Bomb, and that's going to be one way to push back in. Now they have 2 Booyah Bombs. That is going to be able to put them in twice, but at the same time, the hammer's going to be coming out soon. That's going to be pushing those up, but with the Booyah Bomb coming in a little bit too early, with the hammer coming in a little bit too early as well, because the pencil is now pulling up the cooler 2-foot respawns. That's going to be Solus on the right side being stuck together, but that's going to be a 1-in shotgun on CSM. And also, Pitcher going down, but also going to be going for when it gets Solus, but that's going to be a fail. At the same time, too, the pencil going to be going down on side Freelancer. It's going to be a back and forth match, but Solus being the last one alive, they're going to be trying to get a ball and go push in with 1 minute 30 seconds to a minute on the clock.
I mean, yeah, if you're dattebayo Warriors, you're just gonna have to deal with Freelancer's all-out aggression, Sawless, and Kanan. Their perfect timing with the hammer, just having a good old time there, just, you know, cosplaying a train. And so far it's been really hard for dattebayo Warriors to get any sort of stability here, because they always have to watch their back, because of what Freelancer has shown is that they're willing to just flank and attack at all times. Now the question becomes, they have a little bit of momentum here. That's 2 down, that's 3 down for Freelancer. Can they get enough clams to get a large score going? They're playing hot potato right now, trying to build a power clam. They do have a lot of clams in the base of Freelancer, but that's gonna be a bit too late. FaceOffs are gonna grab it and score, and with a couple more clams to follow up, will they be able to throw them in?
Unfortunately, that's going to be a long time, because FaceOff had 4 clams in advantage. That could have been another ball, but because they went for the aggro against Parachute, that's going to be them cutting off. But now also the rest of the team for dattebayo Warriors, they don't have a pity. The only pity that's alive is going to be on Freelancer. If they stall this out for the last 10 seconds and no Ghost Root needs to get the clams on the bottom side, they do. So they have another ball in advantage, and also the pity clam behind them as well. But we see Kanan try to sneak in, and most likely someone from Freelancer is going to get the ball. They are spamming this way, and we are going to be seeing Pikachu actually jumping in, and they are going to be getting the ball in. They missed!
Oh no!
No!
Oh, okay, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, thank God.
That could have been a lot worse for Freelancer, but with that jumping, you know, with a little bit of technical difficulties, maybe, I don't know, maybe looking another way, Freelancer will take the set 2-0. In this set, just throughout that second game, dattebayo Warriors couldn't get anything going. Every time they tried, they had to watch their back, because Freelancer, they sent someone behind them, usually Kanan or Sawless, to kind of just disrupt from the back lines and work their way forward and kind of pinch the members of dattebayo into a really bad spot.
Like, mostly for what Freelancers had, like, okay, for Parachute, like, one thing to know, we did actually know a little bit joke about that for me, that there is a chance that Parachute would miss the clan passing, and that did happen. So and finally the myth did come true. It didn't happen at Riptide, but it happened somewhere, and happened to be today. But literally, like, what Freelancer had, again, what they have for aggressiveness, like you said, it's gonna be way more attractive instead of dattebayo Warriors, because one thing that we need to say as well, the 2 Booyah Bombs, it's a really risky play, because in a map like this, like Museum del Casino, or mostly on campus as well, like, you need to alternate the Booyahs, which they did, but the timing wise is gonna be the major thing as well, because the way to push it in is gonna be one thing as well, the way that you need to paint up together is gonna be one thing as well. But you need to remember, if you're in Booyah, you're gonna be out of the game, and if you put it in a position like where the Zimmy was, to keep battling on the Googler, you're gonna be immediately out of the game right after, because once that Booyah is gone, you are shredded to decimation basically, and be forced back to respawn.
And not to mention, if you use you can't really use the Booyah Bombs together, because Zimmy has bubble, and the bubble can kind of just be like a force field against the Booyah Bomb and stop it from doing anything. So yes, like you said, the double Booyah Bomb was a really risky play. It's just unfortunately for them, unfortunately for dattebayo Warriors, it just didn't work out, because anytime they popped the Booyah Bomb, they usually popped it in a less safe place, so their jump just got camped, and there wasn't a whole lot they can do about it.
But with that is gonna be your round 3 of group stage for SOS 164. We have a lot of time, by the way, so if you want to, we can stay here for a little bit more. We can still yap, because we can talk about some groups.
Okay, let's talk about some groups.
Okay, well, if you want to talk about some groups right now, Group C is in the 1-0 advantage. Group B is not. Group A is not, because they had just one fight to begin with, and Group Stage are together. But we see a 1-1 Cooler Heat versus Killstreak. Killstreak is the winner of FTIU, and them going to 1-1. Going to see who makes it to America bracket. It's gonna be really well. We see Group E gonna be finished as well. We're gonna see Group F starting the match. Okay, Group G is done. Group H is starting the matches too. Guys, come on. Group I is just starting the match. Come on, guys. Group J is almost done. Wavelength versus UCSD Esports Gold. Wavelength is actually winning the match right now, and if they do win, they will be moving on to Group White. Group K, we are seeing a group almost done. All players did win, so they're going to be moving on to Miko, but we're seeing Surreal versus Divinity. And they're set up right now. Surreal is going to be winning right now. Group L is almost done right now. C6 is versus Fearless is on the bottom side. We see the C6 is going to be losing out. Fearless is going to be moving on to Hammerhead bracket, actually. Ooh la la, going to be moving on to Great White. As that is going to be already done. Group M is done. Good. Group N is done. And that's it.
So it's like 3 groups we're waiting for until the bracket starts.
More or less, like 3 groups, more or less to 5 groups. Yeah, that seems like a solid amount time. But yeah, I guess that's all we can talk about for now. Do you want to go into somewhere else, or do you want to talk about something else?
Do you have anything in mind?
Okay, the one thing to talk about is some upcoming events like SAC coming up this weekend. At 1 p.m. EST, there's 4 qualifiers going to be going on bi-weekly. The first one is going to be this weekend. So yeah, if we have an ad from Pipestream, we can start running that in a sec.
Tempest.
Farjo crawling back, continuing to assert their dominance.
No mercy, had none of it. Sweet tooth.
Final reckoning! The choice that they made was absolutely perfect!
So yeah, as you saw from the ad, Qualifier 1 this weekend, 2 p.m. Next weekend, no, in 2 weeks actually, it's going to be Qualifier 2. Qualifier 3, November 9th, and Qualifier 4 is going to be November 23rd.
Okay, yeah. So if you can't make one, you try to pop out to what you can. I know I probably would try to get something going, because SAC's not been it's coming back recently, right?
Yep, it's coming back recently. It didn't come back because of Neon Whale actually taking it over, but after that 2-year delay, when the updates are finished, but SAC is coming back for revenge, and we're going to be seeing some high quality action in Splatoon 3 once again. We never saw this ever since version 7.0, version 6.0, but now it's in version 9.0. The finale about it coming to the end, and also at the same time too, Qualifier 2 is going to be when Splatfest is happening, so that tournament curse is still going to exist.
You know what? You listen. That's one of the great things of life is death. There's taxes, and there's a Splatfest whenever there's a tournament for Splatoon. It always happens without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about more tournaments that's happening during Splatfest, we see that on October 26th, it's going to be somewhat of a perfect time for a LAN, like Sunset Surge, that's going to be going on in Arizona on that same day. And then the week before that is going to be Sea Battle in Washington, and then right before that, it's going to be this weekend actually, it's going to be Booyah Bay.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is there's a lot of Splatoon lands coming up in the next couple of weeks, right? Once a week for the next 3 weeks.
Yep, and if you want to talk about more Splatoon stuff that's happening, there's even CCA that's happening on Sunday, and then the Friday after, and then the Sunday, and then the Friday after. There is so much Splatoon in the next 2 months, like 2 circuits going on, and the lands, like, oh my god, like, and then literally it's season 2. At the end of that, H-Town is gonna be happening right the week after Sunset Surge.
You know, listen, if you're a Splatoon fan, if you're a Splatoon competitive player, these next couple of weeks, you're eating good. You got lands aplenty, you got circuits aplenty, you got tourneys aplenty. You have more than enough to keep yourself occupied.
Okay, so let's actually, I didn't mix it up. Sea Battle is going to be coming this weekend. Booyah Bay is next weekend. So, yeah, like you said, if you are playing in Splatoon in LAN setting or in school fashion or even in a mid-level fashion, you are eating well for the next month. It's literally a whole month. And one thing that we need to mention as well that I actually didn't mention, I forgot to, Freelancer, the team that we saw last round, they were all from Texas actually, and that team you're going to be seeing featured in H-Town Splashdown on November 2nd or November 9th, 1 or 2.
Ooh, okay, so maybe we just had a little bit of a preview of the upcoming H-Town land, because, you know, I'm kind of excited. I really want to see all, like, what these lands are like.
Mm-hmm. And those lands are going to be fun indeed. But now, with all those quality of life insurance that we need to talk about Splatoon lands, now, should we talk about the possibility of Wavelength coming up very soon? Or should we talk about something like, you know, the topic of Persona?
Ooh, okay. Okay, what? All right, what's your Persona topic that you want to?
Avi, do you want to bring up the Persona topic from yesterday that we put up in Debate that goes on every single Tuesday, by the way, on the Purchase Splatoon? Or do you want to move on to talk about something like some kind of song, though? Like something like, I don't know, your song debate? That you say that P3 is better? The P3 Reload is better than regular P3?
Ooh, okay. You want to have that debate?
Are we going to bring up that debate again?
Are we going to bring up that debate?
Do you want to bring up that P3R soundtrack that is kind of trash because the Reload songs are kind of words and P3 bass songs are better?
Well, okay, my debate was around mainly P5 versus P3 songs. I played a little bit of the original P3, and the P3R music clears.
The P3R music clears in some form, but in P5, like, again, P5R is more, it's more fresher, and by fresher it's more up to jazz format, but P3R, they added too much spunk to it. Like, they added the spunk to the old version that they didn't need to, because in P3 bass, like in P3 fast, they played the 5 correctly. They made P3R just way more peppier than it should be.
Okay, yeah, I can agree. One, I know you you talked about one of the songs being a lot more peppy in a very somber moment, but other than that, most of the soundtrack is fantastic for P3R.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, that's for sure. But Ivana Dorm, they killed that to shreds.
I love that song.
The old version is better because they added lyrics to it. You do not add lyrics to something that's already a banger, because that raspy voice in P3 in regular P3 is regularly good enough already. Do not add lyrics to it because it just kills it off and just makes it like an actual NPC kind of theme. It's just your lobby theme at that point.
Yeah, but it's still a good song. Like, yeah, you can say that the raspy voice makes it a bit kind of takes away from the vibe, but I think it adds to it. It's just, I don't know, it's not comforting is the best way to put it. It's just like kind of mellow. I like it.
It's the other way around. The actual lyrical voice, other than the raspy voice, it just kills the vibe. Because if you know the regular song already, yeah, it just, why add lyrics to it already? But the summer moment that I can't tell you, because that's gonna be swallowed in the game. It's also a 1000 PP play on Osu if you know the remix version of it, and that is with double damage and 1.25 speed, and that is just really nice. Funny to know, because a Persona song getting a 1k PP is going Osu is just crazy. But otherwise, that is going to be the song debate. We are going to be having basically a little bit more rounds coming in because we are actually almost ready to come back in topic. So, and before the debate ends, what is going to be your what's your topic on P3 versus P4 versus P5?
Okay. If we're not talking about P1 or 2, right?
Not P1, not
Okay.
P2, because P2 is just totally off the bat because it's two different games, and P1 the Snow Queen and that by the base ending, yeah, whatever about that. If there's a remake, that would be helpful. But yeah.
Okay. So so P3 what I've played of Reload, I didn't finish the game yet, is fun. It's possibly one of the darker stories, and I think that adds to it. P4, I played some of it. I'm playing it through it right now. I'm like 4 hours in, and so far it's pretty good. I would say it's definitely, well, as of right now, I was definitely see it's kind of on the lower. It's definitely the least impressive out of the three. And then P5. Now, when we say P5, are we talking about the Royal or base?
Both. Basically, just put it in both. And also, Pipe Dream, if you hearing this, put on Persona music, I dare you.
put on Maruki's theme.
Put on Maruki's theme, put on it, it's going down, Reload version.
Okay.
And also like put down the any P4 songs if you want, but not the copyrighted one, not a specialist, because that gets copyrighted, and also dance as well.
Okay, so for P5 base, I think it's a good. I think it's a really good game. There's a reason why it basically exploded the popularity of the Persona franchise, right? I think Royal is a lot better, especially when it comes to third semester. It adds on to it. However, I do think Persona 5 drags at times.
Persona 5 drags at times?
Yeah, I think it's a bit too, like, it's like 120 hours per playthrough. So I feel like they could cut down a little bit on it. I know, I get it. You need that the character exploration. You need to like kind of make me care for them, but at the same time I feel like it kind of drags a little bit. Like, it's that's a 120 hour long story mode, or it's not story mode, campaign.
That campaign is going to be super long for sure, because you have to go through like third semester for the game itself. You need to go to like so many things as well. That's really just the main issue. And also a topic, are you going to DM Rocket?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to DM Rocket?
Go ahead.
Looks what's playing right now.
Oh, okay. Well, alright.
All the drawbacks is going to come back every time. But talk more about the debate about we're going to be coming back viewers because the bracket is going to be starting very soon. The main thing about P5 is again the third semester was makes it very interesting. It closes up gaps of what you want to know about in P5 because in P5 base the ending was just like base. Like you just end the game, that's it. P5R has more depth to it and more depth into the characters that you actually care about. They know about P5 like Akechi. And like for P4G did the same thing as well. Because you got more information out of that. And same with P3 fast. I'm not saying reload, I'm saying fast because that included episode ages, which gives more depth as well. But gets more of an ending in general. So the second version of the game is always going to be better because it gets more depth to it. But at the same time too, why I know about this, and I barely played it in the games, I have all three of the games, Reload, Golden, and Royal. The reason why I actually know this is literally because I've watched a documentary twice about the good endings and the bad endings for Bubble Tea. Really good documentaries, by the way, if you want to watch that, and you want to be spoiled.
All right. Well, okay. So I want to add on to what you think about third semester because I think third semester in general in P5R, it explores Maruki and Kasumi's like relationship super well, right? It basically made Maruki one of my favorite characters in P5 or in just the Persona series. Because his motivations are like he's like human in that he's not evil per se, right? It's just like his views are twisted, his views are twisted in a sense that like he thinks his perfection is what everybody wants.
And that perfection is basically that. Okay, it's spoiler warning. He doesn't want anyone to have pain. Because there is a connection right there that goes to it that makes it have that connection there, and that's why the whole plot goes to that kind of time in third semester. If you are listening to the story during the whole time you're being with Maruki, that makes the third semester happen. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't speak on the episode IGIS for P3 because I haven't played it. Or I haven't finished the main story yet, so I can't do that. Yet. But I've heard it's pretty good for the most part.
Okay, so you don't want spoilers, right?
I don't want spoilers.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that either because it will automatically spoil you. Because I saw all the endings already, and oh my god, the ending does make sense. In Reload, from what the review said, they trashed it because they made it too easy. In regular game, they made it harder. It was really hard. They just softened it up in Reload because they made the game easier. So that's the only issue. That's one of the issues about Reload that people say about it compared to the regular game. They just made the game easier because of many differences. Like you can choose what your party members can do. I think they buffed stuff as well. Those are like the two main things that made the Reload fight easier when you get to that by the right topic. So yeah.
I mean, I don't think it being, well, yeah, I guess I could see why it being easy kind of detracts from it, but I don't think that it being easy is a real negative per se, because Persona, or at least 3 Reload, does have a bunch of difficulty options that you can choose from. So I don't really see the I can kind of see why, but I do think P3R kind of took a lot of inspiration from Persona 5 and how successful that did. So I think that's why P3R was so successful, is because it took a lot of inspiration from its predecessor, Persona 5 Royal.
Well, the main thing as well is, do you want to waste an hour of your life?
Do you want
to waste an hour of your life?
Sure.
Basically, that's the main thing. Do you want to waste an hour of your life in that fight? And if you lose, you have to restart that all over again?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And the main thing with Reload, that final fight, in the base game, it was harder. And in the Reload version of the game, from what I saw in the review of it, you could just stack up your characters, and it could be all go.
Okay. Well,
they made it that easier. They made it that easy.
Okay, that might, if it's that easy, that could be a problem, right? But if they found a balance of it, making it easier while not making it like you're taking candy from a baby, I think that could like be a lot better than just being able to just one shot it.
Yeah, well, that is the truth, and that is what's happening in the absolute ages of P3 or how about now. But the funny thing is, no one really cares about that much because we have Persona X coming soon, and unfortunately, none of the Persona dancing actually being put to be seen.
Oh no, the worst thing ever.
The Persona X. If you want to know the information about Persona X, Persona X is going to be the Chinese version, and because of the Chinese version of the game, but like actually is different. That is why it exists.
Very okay. I see.
So that version is actually going to be ported as well to North America, if I remember correctly from the tweet. So yeah, that's going to be another story as well from Persona. It's not going to be your regular protagonist of, you know, the main character, Yusuke, Morgana. It's going to be actually like you like your own character being existing, and everyone else is going to be coming in as well.
So it's like it's basically like its own self-contained story, basically.
Yep. Own self-contained story is going to be existing in the Persona world, and that's going to be milking the franchise even more.
We need as much Persona 5 until we get to Persona 6 in like 13 years.
Yeah, because we still need to wait for Shin Megami Tensei to like catch up.
Actually, Shin Megami Tensei recently released a updated version of Shin Megami Tensei 5, so
yeah,
you could say they're pretty caught up.
They're pretty caught up, but when it's the Wii ones, like when it's gonna be like Shin Megami Tensei like 6 or Shin Megami 5.5 or Root A, like that kind of scenario.
I doubt that's what they'll do, because they have a very similar Persona slash Shin Megami Tensei game coming out tomorrow or in 2 days. Metaphor Fantasia, which I think is going to be a very, very good game.
It is going to be right now that is right now 96 on Metacritic for the PlayStation version and 92 on PC as of like yesterday or 2 days ago, going from TechLinked, and regular scores on news articles as well, on news on like, you know, game sites and stuff like that. That is the main thing. So that game is actually going to be to everyone's favors, and because of that, we are going to be now goodly enough finally can stop yapping about Persona, because we have yapped on about Persona for, I think I saw it 30 minutes now with spoilers, and also the chat kind of like losing followers because of that too. But we can finally say that we have a match coming into play.
Ooh, okay, let's see. And with the top cut starting, Jorian, who will be our introductory teams?
Okay, so the introductory teams, as we're going to be having our streamer, Pipe Team, scrambling to actually catch everything up because we were still yapping about Persona a lot, that we need to change the soundtrack back to stream beats and non-copyright music. We're going to be seeing some gamers that has been around for a long time, and also a pickup, mostly coming in from the New York scene, and also around from other scenes as well, basically doing pickup gaming. I can't really spoil it right now because it's better that we wait for the graphic to show up. But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We love our New York representation.
The New York representation from B, the Splash player. And also, we could just say Chase's team.
It's Chase's team, you know what? It's simple to the point.
It's simple to the point until the graphics show up. But yeah, the main thing is, now that we did a Persona debate and now that we did a regular debate, I can shout out to Prison Break. If you want to hear more about those debates or those kind of stuff, come into Prison Break next week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. EST. Or if you want to do some kind of gaming content as well, you can go to Core Clash on Thursdays. But now that we have the matchup finally happening, we're going to be seeing FREAKYAY or Loxier but has another name for no reason at all. And Jacuzzi Splot. The Splot.
Jacuzzi Splot? I think Jacuzzi Splot.
Jacuzzi Splot. Yeah.
Jacuzzi Splot.
Jacuzzi Splot, yes. When saying about remember when I said about the NA and NYC representation B, and also Toasty as well, if I remember. I don't remember the NY, but Toasty is a recognizable name from the Howdy High Pirates. That is going to be a solid Div 4 level. They are now not going to be considered Div 6 because they are way better than that now. And also Rook is going to be from EOS Annunciators, and Volp as well. It's going to be on the previous team, but be from Mutiny. So it's going to be a solid pickup all around for Div 4.
Yep. Well, let's see if New York can represent itself as we are going into game number 1, a map that we've seen just recently. More zones, hagglefish, more vanilla ice cream.
Get us out of this prison. Get us out of this prison. Well, and one thing you want to know about this as well, FREAKYAY, aka FREAKYAY. Why do they put a FREAKYAY? God knows why. Lock might be the reason for that. We're gonna be seeing main showcase Chase playing with the Tetra Dualies. They are going to be playing the Tetra Dualies to the mostly companion to the ability to help the best of the team of FREAKYAY, aka Lockshade, to go to the advantage. We might be seeing knowledge from FREAKYAY as well, from Lock, Frost and Clug. I think they're like 2 to players. I think there's a role player as well from Clug. Beagle is going to be the sub. So if you want to see that roster, that's going to be the interesting part of it. I might be 100% wrong because I'm losing memory. FREAKYAY, I think, has a sniper. If I remember correctly too, it's 7 knowledge. They might be playing that together. There's a lot of weapons that I could choose. Why?
I mean, and since you have so much information on FREAKYAY, aka Loxier, do you have any on Jacuzzi or no?
Jacuzzi B is playing Splash only. It's only Splash. The B is playing Splash only, and it's going to be pushing Splash only to the best of their ability. Toasty is playing Tri-Slosher. They are a pretty good Slosher player, but Tri-Slosher is going to be the 4th suit. Well, I don't really know anything about it, and Rook, I unfortunately do not know that much about it, but if it comes to term, they might be playing the support role, so it would make sense for that.
I mean, we have not long before this match starts, so I'm kind of excited. Let's see if you can go 6 for 6 with your predictions. Maybe they might decide to switch it up. Maybe try a little something extra. Maybe try to spice it up.
The Dreadwinger. Because the Dreadwinger did win a tournament.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of that.
Dreadwinger. Yeah. It is really fun, but we are going to be choosing the weapons and going to the match very shortly on Splatoon Hagfish. But that's only going to be game 1. Game 2 is going to be Tao Mega Mart, and if we get to that, climb this museum.
Yeah, just from the outset, looking at these map modes, I think, well, actually doesn't matter what I think because we are hopping straight into game number 1, round 1 of Great White Bracket. Let's see, like you said, there is going to be that splash, and on the other side, Stamper, a V Mini, and another splash, but this time it's the V Splash.
Yep, so that's like a 2 or 3 out of 9 because I forgot Toasty is going to be a Stamper player. Whoopsie. But anyways, we're going to be seeing at the start of Advantage that we're going to be seeing a Google coming back again, and we're going to be seeing instead of Loxy, we're going to be seeing a Splash. We're going to be seeing the Blaster, and we are going to be seeing Pencil. So that does make sense for Fox because they are actually a really scary Pencil player for sure. But could you just believe they're going to be getting the zone first and going to be in Advantage. The bubble from the Zim is going to be going down, and they're going to be basically stalling for a little bit as they're going to be trying to get as much points as possible.
I mean, the stalling's not quite going to work out for them as FREAKYAY is going to be quickly able to take zone and take a lot of space using the bubble to try to deter the members of Jacuzzi Splot from going forward. And so far, B does have a crab at the ready, decide to pop it. There's going to be a Stamper on the way. The Booyah Bomb in retaliation. Lockslot's is barely not able to get B there with the crab. Rook on the flanks, gonna get one. Looking for the second, just backs away, decides to throw the hammer, rushes forward with the mini and will take it, but not before FREAKYAY will take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, I think that one play is going to be huge for the side of Jacuzzi Flute for them to try to get it back, because they are going to be losing off the penalty in a matter of 3 seconds actually at that penalty, but it's going to go down. Clark is trying their best to do anything in defense, but they're going to be trying to take off Tosi to the advantage, and we're going to be seeing FREAKYAY actually trying their best to play in the zone with the Buya coming in as well. But no, that's going to be actually one going down for Jacuzzi Flute's B. They're going to be trying their best to pay over the zone, but no, unfortunately, because of the blaster, because of the pencil combo, even because of the Google combo as well, getting 2 down to Jacuzzi Flute, we see FREAKYAY going ahead and taking the victory on the zone.
I just want to say, every time that we've seen B pop a crab for Jacuzzi Splot, there has been a Booyah Bomb to just kind of make sure that they can't do anything. That's been really, really useful, making sure that the crab can't cause a lot of damage. As Jacuzzi Splot's gonna go 1 down, FREAKYAY's gonna be able to take control or take the lead, and with 2 specials at the ready, Jacuzzi Splot has an opportunity here, but they're gonna get shut down really, really quickly. The hammer is gonna go down. The one on the side of FREAKYAY is gonna go down, as the zip caster is going to be jumped back, and Jacuzzi Splot will take control of zone, but not for long.
Yeah, not for long. We're going to be seeing right now FREAKYAY coming back in with the penalty points now trying to go off even more. We're going to be seeing Jacuzzi Flute coming back in as they're going to be actually going 2 down, and actually come to the curse right there as you're going to be seeing FREAKYAY take the zone off. The blast is going to be going back and respawn. The Booyah Bomb from the Google is still going to be alive now, but Locklock playing an aggro on the team of Jacuzzi Flute, and they get shredded off.
I mean, yeah, Booyah Bomb was a bit too far up. All the members of Jacuzzi Splot just kind of looked at them and they shot it down. And FREAKYAY's gonna eat through their penalty and keep on scoring. B's crab's gonna get shut down. Toasty with the Zipcaster is gonna be able to get a nice pick there on the pencil. That's 2 down for FREAKYAY. And the rest of Jacuzzi Splot's able to go straight in, take control of zone. And with about 2 minutes left, this game has been very back and forth, very fight heavy. And that's kind of what happens on Hagglefish a lot of times.
As you can see, Toasty getting a double in on the spot. We're going to be seeing B with the splash, with the crab being in the fence, and now with the trajectory coming out, they dodge it. That's going to be really well for them because they get the crab back in, killing off Clark. That's going to be no clue for them, but Toasty going to go down, and the hammer's going to be going on the left side as well because of the regular mini, not the Zimmy actually. So now it's going to be no problem. That's going to be a regular hammer. That's going to be more aggro to the side of Jacuzzi's Flute, and they're going to be getting the lead in a matter of a second because they get the points enough to get in the lead, but now Fox and the rest of FREAKYAY is going to be coming back in and taking zone immediately right after.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take the zone, but the members of Jacuzzi Splot are not going to give up super easily. Toasty and Zones are going to get 1, but the Booyah Bomb will trade that out. Lockslock here is going to get a nice double kill, looking for the triple, not able to, but with a minute left to go, they don't really have to go far. They just have to make sure that they counter anything Jacuzzi Splot does, because if Jacuzzi Splot is able to get something going, they'll be able to take control of zone. But Commentators curse once again. FREAKYAY takes complete control of basically the entire court of FREAKYAY, and just our Jacuzzi Splot should say, and FREAKYAY will take game number 1.
Game number 1 going to FREAKYAY is going to be a solid fundamental for that bot for Jacuzzi's Flute. They have tower control, make it more. There's possibility for that, but again, we see from FREAKYAY the aggroness they have with being going in for the splash, with Locklock going in with the Google Dudes, an underrated weapon ever since, 7.0 last year, like before the Splatfest happened, like last year with the Idol Fest. That weapon has been on the ground, under the radar, but now we see Locklock coming back and showing how strong it is. It's showing how much aggression is, how good it can be if you know the weapon, as a broken record would say. But now we're going to go to round 2. Make more on tower control. Toasty, B, Rook, and Rope. What they have is, once again, Stamper. They have Zap, most likely. They have Splash. Damn, I forgot the other 2. But yeah, no. The Toasty and B, Pencil. Pencil is going to be a really good route because of the, the shield, because of the checkpoint that actually does reset. Actually on the screen as well. Back up to 10. On the first checkpoint. Second time it's going to be 8. Third time I think it's going to be 8 as well.
Yeah, I think the comp for Jacuzzi Splot can really work out. Like they have the aggressive weapons that they need. It was just in what really went wrong in the first game is they lost team fights, and especially on tower control, Mako, you don't really want to lose team fights, especially when that first checkpoint falls, because if you wipe out, you're basically giving the enemy team a free second checkpoint, because once that second checkpoint falls, because that's usually the choke point, right? That's usually like whoever gets the second checkpoint first, not all the time, but most likely will win the game, because it's very, very hard to break it since you're at a severe height disadvantage while looking there, so while being on the tower there. So if you're able to break second checkpoint, your possibility of winning shoots up.
Yeah, but the main thing is though, it's elevation difference versus range difference, because we see from FREAKYAY here, let's say they have the Zemi. They could go with the bubble Zemi this time to survive and secure a checkpoint and mill on spot if they switch for that, but here it's going to be a good aggro play, and at the same time they have the pencil, or they can play either, like Clark has a badge for it, or they're going to be playing better, so that makes more sense. They have a shot, they're not playing Zemi or a bubble weapon anymore. Well, they are playing a bubble weapon with a blaster, but actually the Gulag's going to be gone, so they don't have a ranged dueling player.
Yeah, no range dualies, but on the side of Jacuzzi Splot, they instead opt to go with the bucket instead of the stamper, maybe for the strikes.
Yeah, again, this is going to be going back to Toasties being a strong launcher player. This is going to be their time to show up and pop off on the checkpoints when they need to be. But because of the tri-charge actually coming out first on the side of FREAKYAY, we're going to be seeing a back foot going for Jacuzzi Splot, trying to go for checkpoint, but that's going to be 2 down inside of FREAKYAy, and Jacuzzi Splot is going to be hopefully able to get the checkpoint with the Zuka coming out as well, and the burst fall coming out as well. We're going to be seeing Jacuzzi Splot getting the first checkpoint.
Yeah, they're gonna get the first checkpoint, possibly a little bit more. Rook with the hammer is trying to find somebody. Looks like they are not gonna be able to, and Jacuzzi Splot can just keep on going. FREAKYAY's defense is starting to come back, is starting to recover a little bit, and so far they've managed to bring the tower back to a neutral spot. But so far, Jacuzzi Splot's been looking super strong here.
Oh, you know what the unfortunate thing actually that happened is Jacuzzi Splot actually waited for FREAKYAY to come back in for them, that they totally put the check but because they thought they got it. But since no one was there on a certain moment, they didn't pick the check. And because they didn't pick the check, they had to wait 10 seconds once again to make that checkpoint even more. That giving FREAKYAY the advantage to go back in, even though they got 3 down earlier. Again, they play the long game, and if they win the long game, if they play the stamina game, they can pick the first checkpoint on the spot and pick it immediately as being going to get the snipe of Lock. That's gonna be no blaster play actually on the side of Fox.
I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be no blaster play, but FREAKYAY looks like they are doing very fine without it. A quick 3 down on Jacuzzi Splot, of basically a delayed wipe there, and FREAKYAY has the chance to really break through the checkpoint with not a lot of enemy ink in their way. The strikes aren't going to go further and far enough, and FREAKYAY with their first push is able to break through the checkpoint and take the lead and just keep on going. Another 3 down. There's the wipeout, there's the bubble on tower. A very dangerous spot for Jacuzzi Splot.
This is what you said about if you got the first checkpoint, they can just steamroll all the way to it because of the kill method and the elevation method. And we see Lock already going into the base of Jacuzzi. Even Beagle as well going up on spot there too, because they were able to get the push in. And literally because of that single push, and Jacuzzi not getting the first checkpoint, FREAKYAY was able to steamroll all the way through and get the second win immediately.
I mean, yeah, it's just Jacuzzi Splot up until the point where they went 3 down, played a solid game, and then after they went 3 down the first time, it was they got staggered a little bit, and they tried to go in to stop the checkpoint from falling, but all that resulted in was just them going down again. And by the time that FREAKYAY broke through that first checkpoint, Jacuzzi Splot was 3 down again, so all they really had to do was set up a bubble on tower, get the team members into the base and strike under snipe under the spawn, and they were good to go because there wasn't really any resistance once they got past the second checkpoint and to the third checkpoint.
It's literally because that we just see FREAKYAY here last year go and get the win from there. and we're not gonna be seeing the good third game at Campus Museum del Casino. So for Jacuzzi Split, congrats to you guys, you got top 16. But for FREAKYAY, aka FREAKYAY, they get to move on against the top seed of I Love Jeffery. And if you don't know I Love Jeffery, oh boy, that's gonna be a final set right there when they make it up there. But for right now, we're gonna be done here because we have to go on break and we got to swap commentators.
Yep. So that will be it from us right now for this set of commentators. It's been pretty fun with you, Jorian. Where can people find you?
So you can mostly find me. I'm blanking here for a second. So actually, you can go first.
Okay. You can find me over on Twitter at Topical2 and find me on Discord at Topic2. I usually post when I'm commentating next or whatever Persona thoughts I have. Jorian, do you remember now?
Okay, now I remember. You can find me at Joy51 on Twitter if I ever post again, or even post like art or stuff like that. You can find me on Joanna Blue Sky, Dapple Productions, here, Coral Clash, aka Cephalopod, Crop Station, Under Pressure for Prison Breaks, maybe Metro Inc. Well, possibly something coming soon, and also just wanting behind the scenes stuff like Charles Tournament, or even in the Splatoon podcast server. Talking all there, but yeah, so that's gonna be it. That's gonna be go round 1, and group stage being finished, and now we're gonna be moving on to Rocket, and we're gonna be moving on to Skep for finishing off the tournament. But before that, Topic, do you have anything to say? Because there is a certain thing that's open, and
what is open?
A soundboard is open. So do you want to do a certain sound before we leave?
I think as a homage to our Persona roots, to our Persona debate, I will say, please stick around, everybody. You will enjoy the next set of commentators, and with that, that'll be it from us.
There we go.
There we go.
Hello and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 164. My name is Skepadillions and I am here with my new friend Rocket for this very exciting Great White Round 2 set between Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, and Ooh La La. Rocket, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing amazing here. We got quite a very, very, very hyped up matchup here, and I just want to take a side note to mention I love these team names so much, but they're just amazing, just in their own way. Obviously, pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, we are going to be seeing, I'm assuming, to be a pretty close match, as this is our 12 and 13 seed respectively here. We will be looking at game number 1, which will be Splatoon's on ship-shaped cargo, and I am very interested really to see what these two teams bring out for this map.
Yeah, I want to take a moment and say you might recognize these rosters at home. On the side of Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, we have basically Big Fat Sea Cows. They've been making quite a mark for themselves in the mid-level community, going from a team that you expect to see in low ink to a team that you expect to see in Great White every week here in SOS. Mini, Neptune, and Toto being your representatives from BFSC, and Corona Beer, formerly of Shiver Me Inklings. That's quite the callback, and currently Caution. Now,
Yeah.
Ooh La La is the new team Serenade, who are currently very upset that they're being streamed under this name and not their actual team name.
I can't imagine why. I like that name a lot, but switching things over, we are hopping straight into things. Game number 1. This is quarterfinal, still best of 3 as a reminder to everybody watching at home. Let's see what weapons are brought out here. We see Corona Beer running the Ink Brush. Alternatively, on the other side, we see a Decapitator pick. I like it a lot here on such a map like this. It is going to be basically a sword battle between that Ink Brush and Decapitator here, just for that up forward aggression.
Yeah, and in terms of the matchup there, you are going to expect that Ink Brush to have a little bit of a difficult time closing the gap between that decap and, of course, that one-hit KO hitbox. T-Girl Pop does brute force their way into a 1v4, gets one of their teammates cleans up the other fight before taking out that less player on the side of Ooh La La.
Ooh La La off to a fiery start here, already being able to set up great positions, having specials available to their name. On the other side, though, Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, has the bubble to really try to create space in here, but already we're seeing Ooh La La continue to make their presence known and continuing to go through with their scoring down to near the 42 mark now.
Yeah, we're seeing the difficult re-engagement that we have between the skirmishing Tetra dualies, that decap that holds space in the short-range shooters. We see the Ink Brush go around. Corona tries to cap the backside of the zone, but inevitably gets called out as Cannon now has the opportunity to look forward towards that spawn.
Yeah, nearing the end of this, Ooh La La look to just go straight for a knockout blow here. Corona Beer being the only player really just trying to make sure that Focus on Gaming can still stay in this. The junior is on point here, but it is just actually left to the pencil now, as Minnie is the last player standing for Focus on Gaming, Not Girls. But the zone isn't inked, Keely here. There it will finally be inked, and just like that, Ooh La La takes the first game very convincingly.
Yeah, I am not terribly surprised given the comp difference, right? Big Fat Sea Cows and Caution. Talented players, really wonderful, and I can't wait to see how they adjust to Rainmaker Crableg, given the diversity that they do have within each of their weapon pools. We did see Minnie on the pencil, but the remaining players on the side of Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, were short-range shooters, and in Brush, which is one of the shortest ranged weapons in the game. The comp that we did see Ooh La La running, those Tetras, they just constantly want to take fights. The rapid kites the opponent, and then of course the decap, arguably one of the worst matchups for a short-range shooter. They're going to have to make some changes, in my opinion. Maybe not theirs. Looking forward to Rainmaker Crableg.
Yeah, 100%. And I just want to mention just the great team play from Ooh La La to really just keep their foot on the pedal, to continuously lock out Focus on Gaming, Not Girls entirely throughout the match, as that is something that is really hard to do, especially at this level of play. Just being able to consistently win team fights, consistently force members of Focus on Gaming, Not Girls to be a little bit dazed and confused, and really just try to make life very difficult for them, was really what led them to really run away with that one. But it is a best of 3, so things can change on its dime as we are jumping straight into game number 2 here. Let's see if there's any changes like you were just mentioning, Seb.
I am certainly curious, especially when you see what is increasingly a meta-defining weapon known as the Decapitator coming out. We do see T-Girl Pup switching over to that Stamper. A little bit of a better matchup, but not by a large margin, versus Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, sticking with the comp that they were running previously. Also, do my eyes deceive me? Cannon on the light Tetra dualies. We're going to be getting a little bit of zip caster action as we start this game.
Yeah, quadruple dash and zip casting action. That is what we love to see. But already Focus on Gaming Girls already are managing to get the first checkpoint off of a great initial push there. They are definitely not taking that last loss lightly and already off to a quick pace here. Crab is popped for Ooh La La to really just maintain presence here, just try to make sure that they can regain control of mid, making sure that Focus on Gaming Girls can stay back and really allow them to get in here. We see Nemesis getting a good double kill, actually managing to find another one there with, I believe, the point sensor, but they will be quickly taken down with 3 members going down for Ooh La La. They still are maintaining a great presence in mid here to contest things.
A weapon that you do not want to close that gap in the hands of Corona Beer. We do see Cannon opting to take the fight with Neptune here on this right side. They're going to get dropped on by that ink brush, but in similar fashion to what we saw earlier in the game, Ooh La La is going to swiftly take that left side check, and they still have a cooler to show for it. All this chip coming out from Focus on Gaming Not Girls does secure 2 picks, so we are now check for check here.
Check for check, lead is very close here. It is time for Focus on Gaming to get into this push. Neptune contesting this Crab, really brave with that, but managing to get away from it. The Rainmaker just doing a little bit of dancing here to try to avoid those killer whales. As their team progresses forward here, Mini will be that Rainmaker carrier, will continue to progress on this right side here, and continuing now to extend the lead with Zuka popped from Neptune as well. This could prove to be a really huge advantage, especially with the bubble being popped here, but they will ultimately get stopped straight in their tracks, but not without the damage already being done.
Yeah, a very great responsiveness to the fact that Ooh La La, for the most part, was not standing near their top left, right? Opting to just push in. We see this shark out from Corona Beer. Tacos pushes right past it. Corona is still in that top left corner. Does against the Rainmaker, just a couple of points further. But on this map, man, if you manage to get across those grates, that couple of points means all the difference.
Yeah, it is a tough, basically no man's land there, and we see Nemesis trying to pave the way for the members of Ooh La La, being able to create some space there. Will find one, Tacos will find one with that Rainmaker, will provide jumps for the rest of their team to really rally into this, but this is what we were just talking about earlier. It is so hard to push through those grates, so it's going to be really, really intriguing to see how they function through this, as they're probably just waiting for an opportunity to strike, waiting for maybe specials to pop.
But that ink brush has no problems crossing those grates, right? It just runs. And in addition, the longer that you're holding the Rainmaker, the more time that you give your opponents to build specials and figure out their angles around you. That's what we see here. The Zuka came out, the Whale comes out as well. We see Corona trying to take this off angle, but does get called out. Tacos is now on that plat. The ink brush nowhere to be seen, getting the 22 remaining before the Rainmaker carrier does go down. Focus on Gaming Not Girls needs to get this Rainmaker off of that plat and potentially set up some sort of stall here in mid.
Yeah, really, Ooh La La only had 10 seconds left on that Rainmaker pop, so they were forced to really push in, and really good push, but not enough to quite take the lead. They will really need to get in another push if they want to continue with this, because Focus on Gaming have been so good at maintaining the pressure here. They are already back near the great point, and really they can at this point play keep away with about a minute left, but the Rainmaker will be keenly taken down by that Rapid Blaster, and going 2 players down here. Ooh La La are not out of it quite yet.
All right, Tacos up on the top right, trying to get another cooler very close to it. We do see that Zipcaster in the hands of Cannon, but they're gonna opt not to use it, as Cannon does get a very clean pick on Neptune. But look at the spot that Rainmaker is. They're gonna have to work that thing back through mid to either that far left area or the top right in order to start pushing to have a chance at pulling lead here. And what is the final minute of the game? This is a very desperate situation for Ooh La La, when the only special that they have on their hands right now is that Zipcaster.
Yeah, that Zipcaster can potentially prove to be deadly. 2 players are down for Focus on Gaming, so this could be the opportunity that they need. However, Ooh La La will lose 2 members of their own, and actually now it is just the Rainmaker and that jumping sword to really just try to make something out of this chaos. Players are falling for Ooh La La left, right, and center, and now the Rainmaker is lost. Keely left. 10 seconds left in this match. If Focus on Gamers can hop onto this Rainmaker, they will win this match. 5 seconds left. Ooh La La really needs to jump on this Rainmaker.
Yeah, and they're right there. Cannon underneath the Rainmaker, but not going to be able to grab that. That is a tied set 1-1 between Ooh La La and Focus on Gaming, Not Girls. Now, I do think I have to walk back my words before the start of the game where I questioned their decision to not change comp. Sometimes you're just comfortable on the comp that you're running that night. You're feeling hot with it, and maybe there's just some additional perspectives from Splat's own ship shape cargo where they made specific errors and we're just like, nah, man, just get it together. And we saw a little bit of that. That push that they had to originally 22 remaining and then later 15 when the ink brush went in into the rain was extremely impressive. And we saw conversely that Ooh La La was not able to set themselves up for the top right, more sustained push that Focus on Gaming was able to.
Yeah, and quite the adjustments they made there, really setting a different pace of play there. But now it is do or die time. We are in game number 3, Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy, and I think something interesting that Focus on Gaming Not Girls did run was that junior, which I think would be another good choice here, especially with that bubble on Tower Control, because it just creates so much space for you to really operate. And with what we've seen so far with their comp being a little bit of a much shorter range type of comp, I think it would really benefit them here.
I'm thinking Tower Control Inkblot. I'm thinking we have the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco on the side of Ooh La La that has stayed stationary, right? We did see that a Stamper Nouveau can't come out, most likely for the Toxic Miss in order to deny that top left area, right, and get that crab on the grates. We did not see the value that we saw out of the decav on Ship Shape, right? Moving forward the tower, Bubble is one of the best, obviously, specials to have on Tower Control because it does shield that objective. So I am expecting a shift away from that Stamper Nouveau to opt back for that decav that was so valuable on Ship Shape, and frankly, nothing changes from Focus on Gaming. If you don't change between Ship Shape, 100-0 push, and Rainmaker Crab Leg, where you win the game overhandedly, I don't expect a change from them here.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Rapid Blaster on the side of Ooh La La. Let's see if we see it here, because it could be an interesting counter for the bubble that will be placed here. You see the change to the decapitator like you were talking about, like you predicted there, Sep. And back to, I believe, the game number 1 comp, we actually see a regular Dark Tetra Dualies on the side of Ooh La La with Reef Slider, which is something you don't see often at all. At least I haven't.
It's something that you do see more than the light Tetras, though. So shifting back to that more, the standard variant of the weapon, Neptune skirmishing here in mid, having to deal with 3 members behind that right stack, does attempt to back, but going to get punished for it. We do see that Rapid, that is not the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco, that is just the plain Rapid Deco for that Inkjet. Inkjet is such a valuable special here on this map, because Bats and Plat are just so incredibly claustrophobic, but Nemesis is going to be canceled out of that Inkjet. Neptune here on that shell, and very close to Zuka. I dare say that this push is donezo. What?
Yeah, but not quite. Kanata is just continuing to make their presence known, finding one with a Reef Slider, finding another, and potentially finding a third as well. Going nuclear with that, and the push is revived for Ooh La La. They are already past their first checkpoint and chugging along towards their second one. A good snipe from the pencil there to deny, and there's Nemesis with the Inkjet. This could be so powerful in denying space, but they are trying to be sniped out of the sky here. Won't find much value off of it, but already a great revival to that push down near the 57 point. Ooh La La are chugging along.
Your beautiful quad. T-Girl Pup does try and go up to that Bats area, now fighting the Pencil Mini on top of that shell. The Zuka comes out. There's a beautiful bubble by that tower going to force the Cannon Reef Slider to come out, but enough chip damage secures the end of the push for Focus on Gaming Not Girls, who can hopefully set up a push of their own, already having substantial paint control in mid.
Yeah, nearing the 3-minute 15 mark. Still a lot of time to work with here. The junior does have bubble for Focus on Gaming, so now we can see a little bit of flipping of the script now as the bubble will be used in favor of Focus on Gaming. Now, I talked about it earlier, that Rapid could be proving huge here to pop it. The bubble is gone now for Focus on Gaming, so now a little brief opening for Ooh La La to really rally into this. The Ink Brush does go down initially. Their Nemesis has the opportunity to really play keep away here and really just pepper the members of Focus on Gaming on this left stack here.
Here comes the cooler, right? Beautiful pick from Mini up on that bats. They know that they have to take that space, but Toto is the furthest up member, and no, there's no one in front of the tower. All of Ooh La La is there in that bats, and with no one there to stop the tower from, like, help it get in, right? Toto forced to take those fights. We end up with a 2-2 situation. Neptune wins it out. They're going to clean up Nemesis. An incredibly scrappy fight from, frankly, a situation that might have not been salvageable. Oh my gosh! Beautiful reactions there from Focus on Gaming, Not Girls. That played out completely differently than I was expecting.
They are just rolling along, and now with Cooler on their backs, they have the ability to potentially go for the killing blow here. The decap, though, T-Girl Puff is just trying to make sure that doesn't happen, and eventually Ooh La La will stop the waterfall that is Focus on Gaming, but the damage has been done already, nearing the 18-point mark and a little bit off of that third checkpoint. Ooh La La have quite the mountain to climb here, but they do have the tools to use it. Never mind that bubble will get denied quickly there, but Nemesis on the jetpack will also get shut down really quickly as well. This pencil Big Mini has been really good, effective at denying the value of it.
Yeah, every time I think I am able to preempt what Focus on Gaming pushes are going to look like, they surpass my expectations. So here we are with a minute left in the game. Ooh La La on that tower, and we're in a 2-2 situation relative to objective, and all bets are off here, Rocket.
Yeah, 100%. And we are nearing the second checkpoint for Ooh La La. They need to take things one step at a time. Only a minute left. Crunch time for them now. The jumps are being had. The trade will be had by the decap, but the jumps are also being camped as well. Only two players, the Dark Tetra and the Rapid Blaster, left for Ooh La La. They seem keen on just trying to make sure they maintain the presence. The jetpack will find the pick, will find the second as well. Nemesis here will be able to open up the defense that Focus on Gaming has had and potentially open the floodgates for them to come back here late.
Here comes this whale. Two members up on Focus on Gaming, able to affect the tower. Beautiful double, beautiful quad there from Corona Beer as the Zuka tries to pay mid. Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, has an opportunity here to set themselves up to deny an attempt of Ooh La La's push. They have those two specials. The cooler comes out, the junior with that bubble, and we can see all these members fighting on this right side of the map. Neptune gets one assist with the second. We see Big Toto with that bubble. They're gonna back forward a little bit, and that's it. That's it.
That's it. Just a back and forward, energetic set here. We saw so many multi-kills just coming from the Brush, the Tetras, both teams just putting on a masterclass, but ultimately Focus on Gaming, Not Girls will win this set 2-1, and we'll be moving on to our next round in semifinals, where we will be starting best of 5, but I am just amazed of how just high energy that was. It was so fast paced. It was so just like, there's so much action and you couldn't predict what was happening. Like you were mentioning, the pushes for both sides seem sometimes stagnant, but then the multi-kill out of nowhere just to really surprise you.
A team that has consistently surprised me, which is a high compliment. Focus on Gaming, Not Girls, after what was a dominant 100-0, a slogfest on Splat Zone Ship Shape, showing that when it comes to the clutch moments, they're right there, ready to have at it. Now we will be taking a very short break as we ready up for our next set, talk a little shop, and that will be Chocolate Bar versus, depending on the, oh my gosh, we got a little bit of a 1-1 situation here. Piggies that never back down, which is essentially Bad Piggies, and New Wave currently 1-1. New Wave you might recognize as Tylenol takers. We'll be right back as we wait for that set to conclude.
We are back for semifinals here. We are in best of 5 now. We will be having Chocolate Bar versus the Piggies that never back down. We are joined once again by Rocket, and joining me is the one and only Skep here. We are ready for semifinals, and our first map will be on Umami Zones. What are your thoughts on this map mode here, Skep?
Umami Zones, I personally enjoy it. It's changed a lot over the course of the past couple of months. I feel like people have also learned how to play it better. I hear a lot fewer complaints about, oh, it's a lockout stall fest. And I think that's wonderful. I just want to point out some interesting things that we got going on with these rosters here. Piggies that never back down. Between Tickle and Sabino, we have basically 2 members of Bad Piggies. And then Benji Fishy, also known as Risu, or whatever math equation he has as his IGN that day. And Proto, members of the Final Reckoning. Now, you may wonder where I am going with this. They were the winners of the whole circuit of SAC Season 8, the most recent season, but not for long, of SAC. On the other side, with Chocolate Bar, you might recognize Cap and Toby from Destiny. Bake, French player, might be a little bit less familiar to us Westerners up this late. But then, Junkie, right? Formerly of Sweet Tooth, a winner of SAC Season 7. Oh my gosh, Rocket. We got some SAC representation in the house, and coincidentally, I will be interviewing with Ray's 2 members, one from each of said teams, Sweet Tooth and the Final Reckoning, on Friday. So just complete coincidence. I gasped when I saw the rosters.
Just a little bit of a teaser here for what's going on Saturday, but moving away from that, we are definitely going to be seeing Powerhouse here, like you mentioned, SAC representation all around, very much hype for this best of 5 here. We will probably be in here for the long run. Let's see what these teams bring. We see Impact running the Nautilus on the other side. We see Sabino running the Sploosh, which is their signature. We've seen Bad Piggies, Tickle, and Sabino in plenty of Prism breaks, so this shouldn't be really a surprise. The double hammer coming out, that is the signature that Bad Piggies likes to bring, and I love to see it brought here.
Yeah, even with the other supporting members of their roster gone, opting to stick with that double hammer. But interestingly, something that Bad Piggies does not typically run, this cooler coming out from Proto. Now, we do see both of those hammers ready to go, but Kamina in that crab as the first hammer does come out, not going to be canceled by that splashdown. Tickle ready for the crab, barely misses. That's a trade. Oh my gosh, Rocket.
Yeah, these hammers being popped left, right, and center. Sabino there with the second one. Junkies will try to get the jump on them. Won't be found. Junkie being the last player for Chocolate Bar here. Just trying to make some magic happen, but will just try to back off and run away with their life as members of Chocolate Bar will try to regroup on this push here, but Piggies that never back down are living up to their name for sure. They are really just taking the fight to members of Chocolate Bar, and they are on a roll so far.
Bake sitting underneath that circle, knowing that that's such a powerful retake option for the defender, is going to continue to deny that impact. Going to start looking towards that left side as Sabino gets canceled in that hammer. Piggies that never back down, splashdown canceling the Nautilus, unbelievable, but Bake taking out that additional splashdown user. Kamina with that crab. I guess there's so many specials being popped, but not enough pay being put on the zone. Rocket, that's finally a retake for Chocolate Bar, but quickly going to be recapped here from Piggies that never back down.
Yeah, but that was a much needed cap, as now the penalties will be had for Piggies that never back down. And actually now Chocolate Bar are able to retake the zone here and potentially pull back a comeback of their own. That hammer almost finds impact there. Very, very lucky dodge and a little break that they needed, but Piggies that never back down are still in the mid control here. They will just try to create so much chaos and space, but falling back now, they will have 2 players on their side going down. Sabino just trying to make some magic happen with this hammer, just trying to be the presence in the side of their map, just trying to maintain that Piggies that never come back down control.
from my perspective, it's the grouping from Piggies, right? They were all sitting on that backside of the zone, and we can see that they're being punished for that because Chocolate Bar only has to look in one direction of the map, and that's right underneath them, right? Impact really close to the splashdown. You can tell that they're thinking about it, maybe even going in there, cheekily getting a splashdown, a kill or two. As PIGGIES does pop this crab, I want to see that Nautilus survive. It's going to opt to try and camp that jump, but that jump is a splashdown. Oh my gosh, the final moments of the game. 2-2 situation. It's just Sabino taken out by Impact, and that is game 1 going over to Chocolate Bar in a very surprising comeback.
Surprising indeed. Piggies that never backed down had very early control and knocked it down to the around 20-point mark right then and there, and it looked all them until Chocolate Bar managed to retake the zone, and they never looked back. They were able to just get that comeback really efficiently because they didn't have any penalty on their back, and they just kept going through on and on and on. But now we are moving to game number 2, Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime. And I always laugh when I see this map mode played by members of Bad Piggies because it just reminds me of Pac-Man so much because of how they run Double Hammer, where they're basically just the ghost and your enemies are Pac-Man. You just have to run away.
Yeah, this is oh my gosh, you'd think to your head, like, this is not a bad map for a hammer, and then you stop to think to yourself, like, wait a second, like, did I just say that out loud, right? No, the narrow streets make it difficult for your opponents to maneuver around Hammer's larger hitbox, right? We gotta remember that that thing has been buffed progressively over the course of Splatoon 3's lifespan, right? And fascinating to me, even with the cooler, you know, it was the grouping, in my opinion. These players are better than I'll ever be at the video game, but like, man, just seeing them all huddle around that backside of the zone, I hope to see an adjustment in terms of that department, and regardless, at the end of the day, like, the communication out from Chocolate Bar to be able to isolate that mistake was beautiful.
Yeah, we're seeing some similar comps here from both sides, and I can't wait to see the double hammer pull that Piggies that never back down will have on this. But let's just see the scrimmage play out here in the beginning. It's definitely going to be had here as both these teams will develop their specials here. Sabino already off rip has that hammer ready here on this right side. Maybe just waiting for an opportunity, but no, will be shut down quickly by Junkie on that brush. So no hammer will be had initially, and look at the clam economy early here for Chocolate Bar. Already a ball being built, and 12, 14, no, just going up to 18 clams being built, but shut down by Sabino there as they jump back in and stop that push straight right there.
Yeah, there is a lot of smoke and not a lot of fire here on Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime, as we see another stamp being popped, but going to be canceled out by Junkie on that ink brush. 2 members down on the side of the Piggies. That's going to give Chocolate the opportunity to start looking forward. And this crab on this snipe is going to be beautiful up on that top left in order to be able to force those players to drop with this Kraken from PIGGIES. Going to chase down that crab and chase down that ball. The splashdown comes out just as the Kraken recalls and gets that pick. Unbelievable timing out there from Impact.
That was huge, and now with that, Chocolate Bar has 15 clams to their name and great position here to really open up the floodgates, and open up the floodgates they will. Crab is simultaneously popped as the barrier is broken, but no, the crab quickly shut down. Impact, being really the last member of Chocolate Bar left in a fighting position, will get traded out, and just like that, the push quickly denied by Piggies that never backed down. And what a defense to be had here. Now they are in prime position to counteract this with the Pity Clam, with Proto only 1 away from a ball, and they're already in position as I'm speaking right here.
Yeah, beautiful pin there out to cancel Sabino's hammer, and we do see that power clam going to be jumped in. Sabino is cooled now, tries to swim forward, but going to be caught out by the paint from the ink brush, leaving Proto alone. Now we do see that Piggies are now holding that lead, right? And a beautiful pick from Proto is going to take out Junkie. So the fact that Piggies are able to maintain control of this plot here means that we're very likely going to see a successive push here any moment.
Yeah, and that could be, no, not to be had as Tickle's hammer will be denied really quickly there. 2 players down for Piggies that never back down. Sabino trying to stay alive here on that as Impact is making an impact, but will get traded out themselves here. Piggies that never back down have really been unable to get a successful second hit there, just thanks to the strong defense that Chocolate Bar has. You see the crab being popped on the tower by Kamina here, trying to take the fight with Tickle. Tickle will ultimately come out on top in that. 2 minutes left, still plenty of time to be played here, but Piggies that never back down are in the driver's seat.
Right, unbelievable jump out from Baka in order to be able to cancel Impact Splash down there and get out alive, right? We do see Tickle with this stamp going to start looking their way forward to it. Baka going to assist with a little bit of chip and forming a ball. We do see that Kraken coming out, but we are 1 member down on the side of Piggies. Make that 2 as Impact and the other members of Chocolate get control of mid. This is just such a scrappy game. We see fight after fight as both teams attempt to maintain control of each other's plat, but not much happens out of it, right? Except for right now, punished for a shoddy push. Chocolate Bar going to be able to get this crab here and potentially pull lead.
This crab placement is huge, just being able to create so much space with just the existence of this. Kamina will manage to help Chocolate Bar take the lead there. A great splashdown by Impact here, trying to deny Sabino's stamp, will end up doing so and taking the fight to Baka as well. Baka will find the trade onto that knot, but the floodgates are still open now. Barely just closing here as Kamina tried to get in a last second ball, just a hair too short, but they are pretty happy with that, as now with a lead, they are now the ones who control this game.
I'm shocked at how expeditiously they gave up Piggy's plat though, right? They had 4 members up, we're sitting on that plat, and now Piggies is able to take that plat back, not have to lose any members while doing so, and now they have specials from fighting in mid, right? We see Tickle gets 1, does go down to the whale. I don't know how the gal went down as well, but Sabino's still alive and in mid, right? A little bit shocked with how this game is turning out here, Rocket.
Yeah, we see Junkie on this potential flank here from Piggies that never back down on this right side here. We see them escaping from that Kraken and continuing to escape. The Kraken will not find value here. 10 seconds left. Potential overtime for Piggies that never back down, but this push needs to develop here. Specials need to be built for this last second push. No more mistakes can be made if they want to avoid going down 2-0 here early.
There's one behind Tickle. Right now, there's a splash behind the members of Piggies as they do lose Proto on that zap. Kami uses an opportunity to jump into Power Clam. They didn't see the ripple of the ink, and that's all it took to close out the end of overtime. The ebb and flow of that game was very fascinating to me, Rocket.
Yeah, it was. It just was so interesting how Chocolate Bar was able to really get these wonderful counterattacks and were able to really make Piggies that never back down mistakes really hurt them, and ultimately that's what wins you sets, really just making the fewest mistakes. And now we are potentially looking at a sweep really early, which is something I was not expecting at all. I was expecting this to go all 5 games, if I'm being honest, Skep, but really, I'm kind of curious. What are your thoughts on what can really be different here from Piggies that can never back down, that Piggies that never back down should have here on tower control Undertow?
Now, we are talking about the difference between our Seed 2 and Seed 3 teams. Arguably, this is the closest set that we are supposed to get in Great White All Night. And getting my thoughts together on Chocolate Bar's behavior and what was going on that last game, it was as if they were pouring water between 2 cups, if that makes sense. And allowing Piggies that never back down, number one, players who typically don't play cooler, to come in and int, and the way that they gave up space because they knew where Piggies were going to retake, especially on a map like Barnacle and Dime, where it's your mission, get my snipe, get my snipe, get my snipe on retake, right? Letting that happen so that way they could just pre-fire. And that was the greatest surprise to me, especially towards the end of the game. Now, we are looking at a very familiar map mode between both teams of these competitors here, being Rainmaker, Undertow, one of the most frequently played map mode combinations that we have in this community, right? So I expect to see some very similar restraint coming out from Chocolate Bar. I think Piggies are going to have to find ways to surprise them.
Yeah, and a little minor change for Piggies that never back down is the stray away from the 96 to the regular guy. Beautiful hammer throw there from Tickle to really open things up, and just like that, Piggies that never back down are coming back with a fury here. They are not gonna take this sweep. They are going straight for this win to get back onto track here, already towards the second checkpoint and nearing capturing it here momentarily. They will get the capture point, and they are on a roll here, Skep.
I ran over my words. I saw Undertow and assumed Rainmaker, even though I'm the one who made the map list, right? We are looking at tower control, and Proto is going to pop that cooler behind tower. It does look like they are trying to keep tapping for passive special charge, but not going to be able to as they are forced back. Piggies that never back down, popping this stamp, going to be canceled. 3 members of Piggies now in mid. We are in a 3v3 situation on top of this spine here, right? With Chocolate Bar having more specials, but not for long. Locke comes in for the flank.
3 players are down for Piggies that never can back down here, and now Chocolate Bar have an opportunity to counteract with a furious push of their own. They have 2 specials available, the splashdown and a cooler now being popped here from Locke here. The crab being popped as well to make the situation worse for Piggies that never back down here, managing to find Boon in the way, but Sabino here just trying to save things will get taken down by that splashdown.
Yeah, and that's going to be an effective wipe on the side of Piggies. Chocolate Bar heading towards that 3rd checkpoint. We can see how patiently those 2 players, Impact and Bake, are playing in mid, letting Piggies feed the tower, exactly as described earlier, as they head for that KO. Clean, relying on the opponent's flowcharts, being able to ascertain their positioning before it happens. Phenomenal playing out from Chocolate Bar, and I believe game awareness coming out from them in order to be able to shut that down. Those are not players playing reactively, those are players playing proactively, and that was quite refreshing.
A little bit of just like speechless for me, because you mentioned the quality of players that Piggies that never back down had. This is not like your typical 1C beating down some like 16 pickup team. No, these teams are filled with juggernauts of the scene, and yet Chocolate Bar really throughout this entire series, sure, may have gotten punched in the face several times, but finally in the end they always got the final punch, and it always managed to hit harder, and it was very evident there because all it took was one push from either team to determine determine that set there. Piggies that never back down got past the 2 checkpoints, ultimately couldn't finish it out, but Chocolate Bar punched right back all the way to the goal.
Let's not forget how close that first game was either on Spots of Tsubame. Piggies that never back down were frankly very close to knocking out the game. It was one really good retake into a Piggies not having a solid retake that allowed Chocolate Bar to be able to focus up and lock them out, right? Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime, I just think that they figured it out. And that was what was so surprising to me and took the brain a couple moments to be able to piece together. When you see players sometimes at this level, certain things simply become automatic. Recognizing flowcharts, where they need to be at a given point in the game, especially relative to objective. And that's a little bit more complicated on objectives that are mobile or decentralized, like Clam Blitz being a mobile decentralized objective and tower control being centralized around the tower but mobile. And so nonetheless, being able to predict where their opponents were going to be so cleanly, it takes you by surprise a little bit. Gosh, and that's nothing to say, like, Bad Piggies and the Final Reckoning are some of the most mechanically inclined players out there. Versus on the side of Chocolate Bar, yes, we have wonderfully mechanically talented players, but what that looked like to me was we have thinkers in the lobby. Beautiful stuff, genuinely, against talented opponents.
Yeah, for sure. And while we were discussing that, our other semifinals matchup finished there. I Love Jeffery will take that semifinals 3-0, knocking Focus on Gaming, not girls, to the 3rd place match to face Piggies that never back down. But a great grand finals awaits us here. I Love Jeffery and Chocolate Bar are 1 and 2 seeds respectively. And honestly, I mean, it's kind of to be expected. They are their 1 and 2 seeds after all. They are expected to be here, but taking both of those teams taking 3-0 sweeps here and now facing each other in the finals, this is gonna be quite the show.
Hold up. I'm checking my watch. My imaginary watch, also known as computer clock. I'm sorry, did you just say grand finals at 7:40 p.m. PST? What has staff been cooking?
Oh?
Are you kidding me? We're gonna end before midnight? Assuming everyone gets in the lobby on time. Unbelievable. A round of applause to staff and their punctuality. What the heck happened here tonight, guys? I can't wait to hear about it.
I know, for sure. A little part of that probably has to do with how fast those semifinals flew through, but yeah, already jumping straight into things, why not? We are looking at grand finals here, and first map that will be had here is Splat Zone's Robo Ramen, which is always an interesting map to take a look at, especially starting things out here.
Now you know them. You love them. We have our weekly warriors on the side of I Heart Jeffrey. Players that have been playing together for quite a hot minute. Liam, Harshi, and Kiki. Gosh, when are they not in the later half of Great White, you know? Consistently playing together, consistently playing well. They've been on so many pickup names that frankly, I can't recall. Lucas and Enraged Jeff. Enraged Jeff, we just saw a fantastic sploosh player in the arms of Sabino. However, Enraged Jeff arguably wrote the book on Splash, right? Lucas, I believe a Central American player, please don't kill me if I'm wrong, that plays support. I love some solid support, and Lucas, a standout individual from the other section of our community.
Definitely not a biased NZAP player at all. Listen with that support.
Quality support makes it or breaks it, dude, right?
Yeah.
You know when your Zap messes up, all right? But do you recognize when your Zap plays well?
That is a true point. Anchors and supports do really just determine whether a team can really succeed or will they have a tough time. And that is definitely something me and you both are going to be keeping an eye on, me especially, because just the amount of games that I have seen determined based on not only just because of an individual making such a highlight play that we usually ooh and ah at, but the unsung heroes in the back really just putting the team on their backs, being the skeleton, being the back, heck, being the back of the team, and just leading them to victory. Definitely something I'm going to be keeping my eye on for sure.
Now my brain is on SAC mode, so I'm looking at the roster on the side of I Heart Jeffrey, and I am recognizing that Harshi and Kiki are both playing on a pickup called Moi. So again, we got Junkie over on the right, you know, one SAC Season 7, the first one of Splatoon 3. And now there are two upper mid-level players who are gonna fight them right now. And I'm curious to see how this is gonna go because of my own personal headspace.
Yeah, for sure. These players on I Love Jeffrey, I'm just taking a look at their Sendu profiles, and you know they're good when I have to scroll down to look at all of the badges that they have here. They are powerhouses for sure, but anything can happen. We saw how well Chocolate Bar were able to quickly take down
Rewind. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Rocket.
No, go for it.
Back in my day, all right, our upper mid-level, top-level players didn't need badges to prove that they were good at the video game, right? And so a lot of these legacy players that come back to sweep a tournament every now and then, they don't have those because they never bothered. So let's not count out Chocolate Bar looking at the massive badges on the side of I Heart Jeffrey.
I mean, yeah, for sure. They may be just waiting in the waters. Who knows? I'm just taking a look at it at face value, but I'm just hoping for a 5-game series, all things considered here, Skep. Just full out brawl here. We're taking a look a little bit at the other maps here, and interestingly enough, is that Scourge Gorge tower control that we're seeing?
Ooh, okay. I get to talk a little bit of map list design. A lot of work that went into this map list. Flame me all you want. All right, listen. This one was really interesting because I never in 1,000 years would have put this in the map list. But it passed the focus group, right? Where I got a section of players who played in SOS over the course of September, interviewed them, talked about what they would change with the map list, and this was a tepid agreement. However, what surprised me when I did test this with a bunch of mid-level competitors and up, including top level, it was unanimous that they would have rather played Tower Control Gorge over TC Manta. And never in 1,000 years would I have thought that the case. So that was a huge bias check on my own part. That surprised me that people actually wanted this. And for the record, Rainmaker Mincemeat also passed with a 50-50 margin. And no, it was not a joke. We had some very enlightened discussions on the topic. If you played Muscle Forge Fitness Rainmaker in Splatoon 2, congratulations, you have played Mincemeat Rainmaker. It is the same thing.
Yeah, having that grade to really traverse. Interestingly enough, too, game number 4, if necessary, Clam Blitz, Brandwater Springs. I don't know if it's just because I have seen the same map pool over and over, but I am excited for the middle of this set here. We see 3 maps that we typically don't see because from what I've seen, normally on Scourge Gorge, you're expecting maybe a Rainmaker, maybe Clam Blitz, but Tower Control, hello here. That is definitely gonna be a feast for my eyes for sure. And just Mincemeat, Metalworks, and Brightwater Springs just being maps in this set, just in general, like it doesn't even matter the mode, just in general, it just brings a tear to my eye. It's just beautiful to see.
Yeah, I was greatly surprised with the maps that were deliberated on and then tested and then re-deliberated, right? I know it looks a little crazy, but it's what the people wanted. People who play SOS, right? And that's the most important thing, is serving the people who do play our tournament here every Wednesday, except for the last Wednesday of the month. Yeah, no, I'm surprised and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to hear everybody's feedback at the end of the month. Please remember, if you play SOS this month, to fill out the feedback form. Yeah, I also want to stress that maybe the reason that you are unused to seeing some of these map modes is in the original focus group I did try and make sure a variety of weapons were represented. So there were some off-meta players involved in these decisions, right? And so maybe the reason why you've played the same 20 maps over and over is that you're hearing from the pencil players and the shop players and the gal players, you know? I don't know. Open minds, guys. Open minds.
Yeah, who's gonna step up and take the stand for your bowstring players out there? Who's gonna take the stand for your bamboozler players? Who's gonna take the stand for your bloblobber players? We are jumping straight into it. We are in grand finals, best of 5. Let's see what these teams bring out for us. Already I see Junkie on the Octobrush. On the other side here, pretty same comp, I believe, on the side of I Love Jeffery.
What surprises me? Oh.
That's a surprise. That's what surprises me.
Oh, okay. Okay, apparently the players are trolling a little bit.
Oopsie daisy.
And that Bake has changed their name to Mokawa, which is, I guess, an Uwuified version of Mocha, also known as Liam, on the side of I Heart Jeffrey. And then conversely, Mocha, also known as Liam, has changed their name to Bake Wake. So,
some shenanigans.
Yeah, that confused whoever was hosting.
Yeah.
I think Baka Waka?
Waka Waka.
How are we gonna pronounce that?
Waka Waka Waka. That's how we're gonna pronounce it. I feel like now, if they were to run like stamp, if we see a stamp go out, I'm just gonna be like, there they go, Waka Waka Waka. Because that's all I think about when someone uses a stamp.
I've never heard that before.
That's basically how you have to act if you are going against the stamp, though. You either have to take it down quickly or run away like Pac-Man if you are surrounded by ghosts. But I don't know. That's just what comes to my mind. I might be weird in that, but please tell me somebody thinks of that as well, or at least is now gonna think of that, because I think that is a.
It's now that I see it, I can't unsee it. It's just one of those things.
Yes.
All right, for real this time. Splat Zones, Robo Ramen starting off our best of 5 final set here for Swimmer Sync 164. I'm so excited, and I hope you are too.
I am hyped, jumping out of my seat. Let's see what these teams have for us. Interestingly, Harashi on the red pencil here. I like to see it on a map mode such as Zones here, with having that NZAP running as the cooler, so no loss there in terms of cooler power. I like it a lot just because of obviously pencil being a very oppressive weapon in itself, but you add rain to that, oh boy, the inking power just jumps out of the freaking building.
Right, what makes pencil strong? Paint and safe jumps because it's a backline. Zap, arguably the most flexible cooler that we have here in Splatoon 3, so combining those two weapons really allows you to have some interesting comp diversity, but we are going to see Chocolate Bar takes the upper hand in the start of this game. We do also see that Junkie is going to be taken out by a couple of stray shots. Chocolate Bar forced back as these strikes do enable Jeffery to start working their way towards their elbow. The 3v4 situation, clean pick from Impact, getting dangerously close to that storm, and that's smelling like a retake to me.
Yes, and the retake will be had from Chocolate Bar here. Not a lot of penalty points to go through on this push. Kiki, being the last player of I Love Jeffery here standing, will manage to find the knot in the back, and now just continuing to stay alive here, managing to find another before they go down, but unfortunately Chocolate Bar will hold on to this point. And if you're on the side of I Love Jeffery here, you have the cooler available, though. You have those tri-strikes coming from the bucket here because of Kiki having that cooler. They will go out here, potentially go for the retake, and just like that, they will be retaken.
Yeah, we see Kiki did burn those strikes in order to be able to retake, but they don't cap. Thankfully, Kiki does get the pick on Impact. The Nautilus Bakawaka goes in for that Zipcaster, does not secure a pick for it, but we do see that Jeffery is going to clear that penalty. Kamina getting very close to those strikes, which is going to signal a retake. There's Octobrush Junkie also having that Zipcaster. So as Jeffery does get closer to the pulling lead here, Chocobar opts for the retake, and now, like, nothing has happened, right? I'm sorry. The strikes went out, the zone was capped, but nobody pushed up, no picks were had, so we're still having a 4v4 in mid, and Jeffery going to be able to recap and look forward.
Yeah, and we saw each team putting out a ink storm. It looked like a Venn diagram on the point there, as both teams were just throwing specials left, right, and center. But ultimately, after the dust settled, I Love Jeffery will manage to hold on to the zone here, potentially looking to take the lead here if they are managing to hold this for about 5 more ticks here, and they will just about do it now. They will have to face the onslaught that is the amount of specials that Chocobar has, and we see them being pushed out right here. You see the tri-strikes, you see the jet, and you see the cooler. This is their time to get in.
Kamina tries to push their way in, but Kiki on that bucket is a dangerous opponent that they are going to win over. The storm is going to either force these players to back or to commit. They opt to back, but that is going to leave Jeffery with less than 10 ticks on that zone. Beautiful picks coming out from Impact there. Now, Chocobar has the opportunity to set up. Deep breath, Rocket.
Deep breaths, deep breaths. We've seen how well Chocolate Bar have been able to counter-attack, and they are dangerous in those types of situations, but they will lose the point here, as now a penalty will be inflicted. The Splatana goes down, the bucket goes down for I Love Jeffery, and a numbers advantage here for Chocolate Bar to take it back once again. And I'm just seeing the point being flipped within a matter of 15-second intervals at this point, as either team are fighting really contestingly to hold on to this. Chocolate Bar are almost out of their penalty point here. Key has a little bit of a tongue twister that Kiki has the tri-strikes that will try to tap the zone, but a counter tri-strike will be had for Chocolate Bar.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that the strikes did come out. The storm is out. It's a 3v4 situation for this zone, but look at the members of Choco Bar and how grouped up they are. That's going to be an opportunity for Harshi and the other members of Jeffery to start looking forward. They managed to clear that bottom right side, which means that they only have to look towards that left. Kiki has these strikes as we are ticking towards the final 30 seconds of this game. Kamina jumps out, thankfully still holding on to those strikes, but with this cooler, my question is, do they push in with this?
Tornado warning here. We're seeing 6 strikes popped here. A rain being popped for Chocolate Bar as well to try to retake this here late. And such a key take needs to be had here. The take will be had onto the zone. Chocolate Bar nearing overtime. 15 seconds left. No more mistakes can be had here if they want to stay alive in this. The bombs are dropping left, right, and center. So are the strikes here. Nearing the 5-second cooldown and nearing the end of their penalty. Chocolate Bar have to hold on in overtime.
Yeah, Jeffery does have those strikes. Those strikes do come out layered over that zone, and that is a nearly uncontestable pop there for Jeffery to take the lead in overtime.
Talk about an ink
I need a deep
storm.
breath.
That was a tsunami. That was a tsunami of just ink left, right, and center. Both teams had so much inking power, not only in their weapons, but the specials. I feel like we said Tri-Strike, Storm, and all these specials so many times during that.
Yeah, so I'm a little stumped, Rocket. I saw a lot of specials being used on the side of Chocolate Bar, right? And the Neo Splash is not something that we saw the previous set, where they were the thinkers, right? Every time I looked, everybody was clumped up in that elbow, right? If we're looking at that Octobrush, it wants to take advantage of what their teammates are doing, right? The Nautilus is a midline that wants to be able to take advantage of the fact that its front lines are being run at or its back lines are being run at. But the combination of the Neo Splash that does not want to fight and the Blue Pen that does not want to fight, combined with 2 weapons that want to take advantage of the fact that their teammates are fighting, it just felt very languid. Especially into the more aggressive pencil, right? The red pencil with the splash wall and the storm to heal itself in. We got to remember that storm buff, right? You're standing in that storm, you heal as fast as you were swimming. And then the zap, which once it gets cooler, it wants to go fight. Frankly, we did see Chocolate Bar running the more, in my opinion, paint-heavy comp, right? Especially between the Neo Splash and the Blue Pen. Neither of those weapons want to die. They both want to drop over 2,000 paint. A Zap doesn't really need to do that, right? It can be happy with 1,600. And it felt like a sail without wind, like a paper lantern without a candle.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Just being unable to really build up fuel and momentum to really take advantage of those weapons and the vision that I thought Choco Bar was going for with those weapons. But hopefully things change on Scourge Gorge tower control, which seems kind of weird to say, honestly. But yeah, Scourge Gorge tower control, just like the song right there. Oh boy, we are in for something here. And I just want to see, I'm for sure expecting to see those GG strikes coming out for both sides here, because that special is so powerful on a mode as tower control. Let's see if they stick with it.
And we are going to be seeing a little bit of a comp change coming out from Chocolate Bar. We are still seeing those strikes coming out from Impact. You do want to see that here on tower control, especially on a map that's unfamiliar. You want to stick with reliable and known strategies for your re-engagement. So good switch to that over that V-Slosher. Unfortunately going to be taken out very quickly by Harshi on that Fire Fin. Oh my gosh, on the side of Jeffery, look at that. No cooler.
No cooler, who needs it? And already, I Love Jeffery are on a roll here. 2 players, they do have 2 players. Nice shot there from Arashi on the scope. They will have that scope for the GG strikes and have a bubble as well with the junior. And already they're chugging towards their second checkpoint with strikes being popped. They are on a roll. Kiki managing to find a great pick, and now even more space created with that screen. And they are continuing to go, and they will probably get past the second checkpoint.
Yeah, and they're going to break that, right? Ultra Solo on that tower with that bubble. That bubble going to be taken out by the strikes coming out from the Vanilla Slosher on the side of Chocolate Bar. Harshy on top of that tower, again going to be taken out by Impact. This is a beautiful re-engagement from the Chocolate. Impact now going to fight Baka down here on that left side. Lands one hit. These are both 70-hit weapons, right? The Chunky comes in, tries to assist, and they manage to clean up that 2v1. That was pretty scary for a moment there.
Yeah, it's always those awkward moments that are always like give us mini heart attacks. Like, come on, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? There you go. Yeah, and we're now seeing Chocolate Bar having their push slowed up a little bit here because of the great defense that I Love Jeffery has put on. Now being able to reset the tower back to mid, and they have the numbers advantage to do so. Bakewake have the Zipcaster available to really make an impact here on this push if they so choose, but I Love Jeffery are already off to a great lead.
They are already having broken both of those checkpoints. You got to remember that first checkpoint, similar to what we would see on Crab Leg. I can't believe I'm making that comparison. This first checkpoint is a lot easier for the opponents to defend. Something that makes this map unique is something that makes this map decent for tower control is the fact that the defenders have high ground over every single checkpoint. Harshy does pop those strikes in order to deny that high ground that we do see Mocha were trying to take, but Junkie dropping in and taking this fight. There's a lot of fights happening, not a lot of tower moving. I'm so stunned. Oh my god, beautiful kills from Kamina.
Yeah, just like that, the favor swings into the favor of Chocolate Bar, now being able to try to maintain and continue a second push. But we see Harshy and the rest of I Love Jeffery here really posted up on that right side with the bubble, and we're able to really stall out that push here. Kamina, though, doesn't want to see that happen. Will find one.
Beautiful.
A double kill from Bazooka, a nice triple right there, and that will open things up for Chocolate Bar now.
Yeah, and we do see Kamina taking this very aggressive forward position that gives them the high ground over the majority of their opponent's court. They are going to use that high ground to get one pick. Junkie comes in, manages to help with the 2v1 with Kiki. Now Chocolate Bar is at this second checkpoint, and the tides are turning. We're getting dangerously close to that whale. The strikes do find one. We have that Zuka for that top right area. That's a beautiful shutdown special. I am breathless here, Rocket.
Yeah, this is the counterattack that Chocolate Bar is known for, and they are just going straight for things. 20 points left and 2 kills for Kamina here, continuing to show that they are the heart and soul of Chocolate Bar's pushes. And now, off of that, they will try to continue to extend their lead, but facing a brick wall now, I Love Jeffery are able to recollect themselves and at least stop the continuous push that Chocolate Bar has really shown that they are known for.
Here we do see Ultra Solo very close to that bubble. 2 members down on the side of Chocolate Bar means that I Heart Jeffery is going to be able to situate themselves for a defense, but given that they only have Harshy left on that snipe, Baka Waka does jump in. We're still in a situation where Chocolate Bar is in control of mid. Harshy tries to take the fight, ends up having to look in 2 separate directions. The way that Chocolate Bar is keeping I Heart Jeffery cornered around this snipe area, constantly having to look both to the left and right of it, is spectacular.
Yeah, keeping them cross-eyed, having to look one way or the other. 20 seconds left in the match here. I Love Jeffery has to get in 1 or 2 more attempts. Really, they only have 1 shot left in this game here to even things up. 10 seconds left. The tower ring reset back to mid here. Each team losing a member. 5 seconds left. It is crunch time now for I Love Jeffery. However, they will lose 2 members in the scuffle in mid. The members Harshy just being the last player in mid there for I Love Jeffery, but not able to maintain it. Chocolate Bar even things up 1-1.
In our finals, moving on, we are going to be seeing another really unique map coming out in this set, Rainmaker Mincemeat. Right. Now, Tower Control Gorge, one of those new introductions that are a little bit more unorthodox. What did you think, Rocket? Was that an exciting game?
that was because we saw signatures from how both of these teams like to play. I love Jeffrey really taking that early lead and just being so oppressive in how they like to operate, and all those specials being put out. We saw the use of the strikes from Hershey. We saw the bubble being used, and early on a great initial push, but a signature that we saw from Chocolate Bar that we saw in our semifinals matchup against Piggies that never back down. They always seem to have a wonderful counterattack no matter what, not taking any push, sitting down and punching right back. So definitely very, very invested in the set, because a little bit of a signature as well. They punched back in this series.
Yeah, I thought it was an exciting game. We saw, like you mentioned, that really strong push that was just like, oh, how bad of a snowball are we about to witness coming out from I Heart Jeffrey, right? We saw that second checkpoint fall really early. And the fact that we saw Chocolate Bar able to defend, retake, and then have such a drawn out push of their own, I think it really highlights, you know, maybe we should play a little bit of Tower Control Gorge.
Yeah, definitely showing up the power of it. Hey, TC Scourge Gorge will be here to stay, and I might be all for it.
Those are dangerous words. We'll see the feedback.
Oh no, some people are gonna get their pitchforks and torches out. I know it. But moving things over, another welcome addition here, Rainmaker Mincemeat Metalworks. You mentioned how this is similar to the Splatoon 2 map.
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce the name and not for the life.
Fitness.
Yes, that. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very different from what at least I'm used to seeing, what I'm sure some of you at home are used to seeing. So I am all eyes and ears to see how this turns out. Let's see if these teams switch it up on us a little bit or stick with the same old, same old.
Now, cons of the map. We're not going to be delusional here and say Rainmaker Mincemeat is a perfect map mode with no flaws. Otherwise, we would have been playing it for the past 3 years, right? It is a stall fest in mid. There is a real potential that we will see 2 minutes of this game where nothing happens. However, things get dicey around that left and right side, respectively, for attackers and defenders, which is where the Muscle Forge Fitness comparisons really do shine.
Yeah, for sure. And already we see, just like what you were saying, Skep, neither team really developing a large advantage. Never mind, a great pick there from Kiki on the regular Rapid Blast. We see Kamina on the back here finding 3 already, and just we've seen how well they've done just single-handedly being able to open up I Love Jeffrey and being able to give opportunity for Chocolate Bar to push in, and it looks like that will just be the case, as now Chocolate Bar will be the first ones to take Rainmaker, trying to go on that right side there with the back.
It really is the fact that you can drop behind either of those trucks in neutral that allows you to break that neutral. We do see that Vac is going to be used in the direction of the Rainmaker, but not enough to secure a pop. Chocolate Bar, having broken that first checkpoint, does look like they are going to lose control of mid here. That's going to give... Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I may be mistaken here, Rocket.
Ooh, we see the continued chaos that Junkie is creating with that ink brush here, and already we are seeing Chocolate Bar continuing to control the pace of things here. We already see them get the pop. Junkie getting another pick there, and now the Rainmaker slowly but surely heading its way towards that goal. A little bit of an interesting thing to note here. We see I Love Jeffrey have 2 blasters, and that just makes my heart happy being a blaster player. But we see the back managing to take down the Rainmaker carrier on the side of I Love Jeffrey, and now 3 minutes left. Chocolate Bar, this has all been Chocolate Bar so far.
Yeah, Baka Waka goes in, gets 1, gets 2, has their splashdown remaining to show for it. We do see the Brush player dropping in the mid. Junkie does get taken out by Baka Waka again. That's their 3rd pick in about just as many seconds. The splashdown is used to assist on a member of Chocolate Bar. There's a lot of fighting, right? But the moment that your Zap picks up the Rainmaker here, you lose so much paint. And in a situation where you need to physically paint the objective forward, and you're running double blaster, that slows you down so much.
Yeah,
who's supposed to grab the Rainmaker? It doesn't seem like there's communication on that.
Yeah, then like you mentioned, I agree with you. The Zap being the real only inking prowess on that team, especially with having that third weapon being the sloshing machine. But we're already seeing I Love Jeffery being able to at least even things out a little bit, managing to get that first checkpoint. However, they still have 18 points to make up, and just like that, they will take the lead as Kiki continues to move in and will extend the lead a little bit here. A quick double from Impact to shut down any further aggression from I Love Jeffery, and we are seeing blow after blow from both of these teams.
There's a flank. They have their snipe. Baka Waka's still on that snipe, but the splashdown does get taken out, but that's enough of a skirmish in order for I Heart Jeffery to be able to maintain control of mid. Now, I do want to point out, it was Kiki who was the one who grabbed the Rainmaker, got the checkpoint, and then Squid rolled forward to get to 33 points remaining. That is not that large of a push, but the hard part on this map is breaking control of that elbow. Kiki's not going to be able to do that every time, however, given that they have that back, and that's so insurmountable for their pushes here.
Yeah, and that is something that I Love Jeffery is going to have to develop if they want to develop another push. But with having the lead, I'm not sure if you really are looking at that yet, but with a team like Chocolate Bar who's able to come back from these time and time again, that might be necessary here. If Chocolate Bar are able to get in a push, we're seeing the shots coming out from that charger, not quite finding its mark, but we see Junkie taking the Rainmaker here on this right side. 3 players are down for I Heart Jeffery. This could be the opportunity that Chocolate Bar but no, the Shark to end things. Ultra Solo, a clutch Shark kill onto the Rainmaker there.
Yeah, we saw that Chocolate Bar had control of mid for so long, but we saw the Charger player again with that Ink fact not grabbing the Rainmaker, right? Because they need that special in order to really push into elbow here. So now Chocolate Bar does grab that Rainmaker. They do have that Ink fact ready to go. It does look like that was popped. No, that was I Heart Jeffrey's back.
Yeah, we see the jetpack usage from, not jetpack, the vac usage from both teams being just irreplaceable for both sides. Unfortunate bomb def here, and just like that, I Heart Jeffery can just take the Rainmaker and run for the hills, and now game number 3 taken by them. They are on series point here, Skep.
Not just series point, but tournament point, right? This is it. This could potentially be our last game of the night. You and I and the rest of our staff get to go home a little bit early. All the players get to honk, shoo, me, you know. See you for the weekend tournaments. That game to me was defined by VAC. And it especially when it came to breaking, it's got to keep in mind it's an unfamiliar map to a lot of players. You know, they have ideas on how to play it, but not really tested and proven, right? I Heart Jeffery to walk away with that running double blaster and really no defined player on who to grab the Rainmaker, it surprises me greatly. Because I mentioned the Zap not being able to grab because then the comp has no paint, and then your backline can't grab because, well, they have VAC. But really, one split-second decision from Kiki in order to grab, break, grab, roll, in order to pull, frankly, what is a tiny lead just above that step. That's all that takes to break it. And we didn't see the same reactivity coming out from Chocolate Bar. Perhaps we mentioned that this is a team that likes to play proactively because the map mode is so unfamiliar. The Charger on that right car had that VAC for so long, and I just gotta wonder what they could have done with it had someone else circled back and grabbed the Rainmaker.
VAC is a very interesting special, but it requires your team to really take advantage of it fully, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it on Clam Blitz, Brine Water Springs, but I wouldn't also be surprised either if we see the return of some junior play here, some bubbles here, just these specials that can create space. Not only can we see, obviously, Tri-Strikes are the go-to specials for doing such that, but you're talking about these specials just being giant shields and just denying any enemy ink from coming through and really setting up these pushes. Definitely something I want to keep an eye on, and I think that we might see here because so far these teams have shown to be very adaptable, like you kind of mentioned, Skep.
Yeah, this is one that we played early Splatoon 3, right? I don't know how long you've been around Rocket, but this was like standard when it was added to the game, right? You expected to see Zones brine water, you expected to see Clams brine water, but you were like, man, Rainmaker TC, so these were at a time when the game had even fewer maps, which meant even fewer viable map mode combinations. This was just normal to play. So I'm curious to see how familiar this looks and feels to our competitors here in finals. And curious to see, given how many new weapons and strategies and how the meta has changed since Brine Water was added to the game, I'm curious to see what they cook.
Yeah, and to really answer your question of how long I've been around for this, I started initially like a little bit like a month after Splatoon 3's release, and really I have played the zones on this map, and my trash self was suffering in like S+2 ranks, just like crying like, why, I don't know how to play this map. But yeah, because like I've never seen it like it, because in like Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 1, something you don't see. But taking a look at these weapon choices here, a little bit of a mix from what we've seen for both teams here, what they've run in the previous games.
It's giving Clams more, if you would, to harken back to the comparisons I've been making all night. We are going to see that blue pencil coming out from Chocolate Bar. We do see Hershey sticking back to the Fire Fin, and also, sorry, Liam on the zap. I might be mistaken. Lucas on the zap.
Yes, Lucas will be on that zap, and I Love Jeffery will already be in the lead in terms of clam economy here. The tri-strikes go out for both sides as Chocolate Bar tries to defend this with numbers disadvantage here. It is just the bucket and the shot left, but despite that, I Love Jeffery will be able to get the cap onto the control there, but without much follow-up, as they do go 3 players down. And now Chocolate Bar in prime position to pull a counterattack of their own. The ball is built for them. The Zuka shots will not quite find their mark, but the score not yet had yet, and there will be the pop.
Yeah, and we do see that cooler and those strikes coming out. Kamina trying to take the fight with Hershey here, does manage to trade that out, and that is frankly huge. You don't want Hershey left standing on that back line. The Power Clam does jump in, does get the dunk, but it doesn't look like Mocha Woka is going to be able to, Mokawa, oh my gosh, is going to be able to follow up on that for much longer. Chocolate Bar maintaining control of mid here, going to have to situate themselves for either another push or a defense.
Yeah, we see Bakewake here on this blaster trying to find some value, will scare away one member of Chocolate Bar and potentially lead the way for the rest of I Love Jeffery to push in. They have Splashdown as well if things look a little dicey. Hershey has a ball and the Zukas, not the Zuka, the strikes going out. A beautiful shot right there to open things up, and the ball will be put in before they are taken out. And another one as well, a really great push from I Love Jeffery here, and a great counter as the points are still coming in.
Bakawaka does go in there and get a couple more in order to be able to stall. We do see I Heart Jeffery has enough clams here in order to be able to end the tournament, but they need to be able to find their way in. Kiki getting 3 with a beautiful Zuka, but the basket coming to a close. We do see our players tossing power clams to each other. Hershey does finally manage to form, but it looks like something paints their way out as they try and dunk that here.
Yeah, but still managing to get the pop there and open things up. Ultra Solo has a ball available to potentially extend this lead, but no, Chocolate Bar will be able to end that right in its tracks. A very clutch defense there, but with under half the match left to go in this, Chocolate Bar have a huge lead that they need to come back from. And remember, this is tournament points, so let's see if they can come back in this enforced game 5 as they have 2 balls available for them on this push.
Yeah, we do see Mokawa on with that cooler, knowing that that cooler out is huge for the rest of their team, but they are getting close to those ink strikes. Those ink strikes are going to really be able to let them brute force their way into that elbow. Here comes those strikes, but but do they know that Kiki is up on that bottom left? Kiki jumps out, recycles back towards their own teammates. Those strikes burned, and not a lot to show for it other than 2 members down, but with Cooler, right, if you're not moving forward with your strikes, your opponents are out of spawn so fast. One clam goes in, the other one makes it in as well. They are 5 or so clams away from lead here. Bogawa goes in, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, pulls lead! Beautiful push there, but it looks like it is going to be coming to a close as Impact forced the back.
Yeah, in a mode like Clam Blitz, it is usually the last team to get in a good push will remain victorious, obviously, as both these teams have just gone back and forth. The lead so close, very little. Just 1 score, as I Love Jeffery now have to develop a clutch push in their own sense, but Tri-Strike is available for Chocobar to deny as they will go out as well, and they are just sitting pretty here, just waiting to see what I Love Jeffery's move is here. Harshi just trying to paint up mid, trying to find some value here. The Tri-Strikes are available for this push. Let's see if it can go well.
We are in potentially the final 30 seconds of Swimmer Sync 164 as Kiki tries to go in and get a pick, does manage to assist in getting 2 down. I Heart Jeffery does have this power clam ready to go, but as long as this pencil is right outside of their spawn, keeping paint down, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to move here. They have enough clams to be able to pull lead and shut things down right here, and they do. Waka Waka, 10 seconds remaining with those 4 clams. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to score those. Chocolate Bar has about 23 seconds in overtime in order to be able to pull this back. They're a player down currently, but at least they have Cooler. No specials to show for it, but the splashdown does manage to deny those strikes. Momoa gets taken out by the blaster. Junkie's just gonna have to simply run for it. There's no other option. Kamina has that Zuka out, but Ultra Solo cuts off that rotation. Jump in, 2 seconds too late. I Heart Jeffery wrapping up our tournament right there on Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime. What a beautiful final exchange.
Congratulations to I Heart Jeffery for being our Swim or Sink 164 champions here. What a set it was. What a set it was. I don't know what more can be said about that, because this just was back and forth the entire time. It may not look close in the 3-1 set, but all those games were so close between both of these teams, Sep, because all these games went back and forth so much. You basically could have just picked up a coin, done a coin flip heads or tails, and this set would have basically been determined just like that.
Yeah, I'm stunned. I'm shocked. My mouth is open. The fact that we did see our Heart Jeffery coming in, got to keep in mind under 50 seconds on the clock in order to be able to pull that lead before overtime began, right? And that really, just the timer, put Chocobar in a tough position, right? By the time I Heart Jeffery's push had come to a close, and you really have to lock in, deny that, they had literally 23 seconds. They just had to go, and there was no room for mistakes, and I Heart Jeffery really set that up well. I enjoyed watching that set, Rocket.
Yeah, 100%. And if you want to take a look and are just a little curious about how our 3rd place match went, Piggies That Never Back Down survive against Focus on Gaming Not Girls in a close 3-2 victory there. Look at that. Look at them taking that series there and taking our 3rd place to round out our top 3. GG's to them. GG's to everyone who participated in this tournament. And thank you all for watching. But as always, we always have a little bit of housekeeping to do. So, Skep, where can the people find you?
You can find me very happily in that staff VC for Squid Advanced Circuit this Saturday, our mid-level circuit. I'm so excited to see SAC finally come back. It's been crawling its way out of its own grave, Rocket, and I'm so excited that we not only were able to announce the event, but be able to put it together. I'm gonna scream, bro! I'm gonna scream! These are our qualifier dates. You can also find me at the Porter Robinson concert in Phoenix later that night. I'm so excited. I'm gonna explode. What about you, Rocket?
Yeah, you can find me there on the qualifier #1. I will be there for this. I am so excited to be a part of it, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it. But despite that, you can also find me on Twitter at rocket_splat. You can find me in random discords and major Splatoon discords. But yeah, I am just hype. I feel like my heart's about to burst out of its chest. I am just waiting for Saturday, Skip.
I'm gonna explode, bro. All right. Without any further ado, again, thank you all for tuning out to watch Swimmer Sync 164. I'm so glad that we could be here and enjoy a new phase, potentially, of Swimmer Sync, as depending on your feedback, we shift into these more unique maps and zones priority format. It's a season of change. We're in the autumn, and I'm so thankful. Congratulations to iHeart Jeffrey again, fabulous competitors, and we will now be rating our lovely friend Krakenmare.
Tempest.
Farjo crawling back, continuing to assert their dominance.
No mercy, had none of it. Sweet tooth.
Final reckoning! The choice that they made was absolutely perfect!